Welcome to the Was It Good Though podcast. We'll be bringing raw and unfiltered energy for each movie and TV show that we will be reviewing. Just think of it as turning your movie group chat into a podcast. I am one of your hosts. My name is Jazz.
I am Jason. And man, per usual, I got some house rules I want to run through with you. So let's get started. One, we will be spoiling this review. So if you haven't seen it, you haven't watched it, please stop, go check it out, and then come listen to this review. Number two, please like, share, subscribe. Let your friends know, let your church members know, let your family know what we are doing over here at the Was It Good Though podcast. Number three, have fun. We just kicking shit, having fun with my friends. That's what we do. And last but not least, this is not a kid-friendly podcast. So if you're watching with your kids, that's something on you that has nothing to do with us. Let's get to this review.
That would be your name.
Okay.
That would be your stage name. It would. I feel it would be.
I think my MySpace. No, not what was before MySpace. Black Planet. My Black Planet name was The Heavenly Body.
Okay, well, you see, right
long
there.
ass name.
Very long.
I mean,
Short is heaven. That's her name on the video.
Work on it. You know what I'm saying? We got to work on it, but it's cool.
Did you have the glitter effects on your Black
I had
Planet
all of it.
page?
I was.
Hold on. You remember the dolls?
There. Oh yeah.
The little black. Oh man.
Hell yeah. They look like the little brats that like I had. Look, I was a full-time programmer. Let me tell it.
I hated
I had
every
playlists
dude.
and music and the whole nine.
Every guy had some black fraternity logos all up on their page, and they never pledged. They were talking about, Q Dog, I'm down for it, the Noops, and then you go in there. None of them went to college. None of them pledged.
We call them perps. We call them perps.
But they were pulling, and I got to give them props, but they would always have them girls. Excuse me, I'm from Louisiana. Them girls all on their page, leaving them little notes, them little thank you notes. And I'm like, damn, maybe I should be a Q Dog. But at that time, I was too fat to stomp.
You fit right in.
So I'm good. I was good.
You would fit right in. They got plenty of husky fellas out there.
Yeah, there's grad chapters. There's grad
Not
chapters.
the husky fellas.
I'm talking about
Hey, we're not gonna talk about husky kids. I was husky as a kid. We're not doing that.
Anthony.
You was wearing the Bugle Boys.
Yes, sir, I was. Yes, sir, I was in the
wait.
Bugle Boy.
And
You
Jason
was in
had
Bugle Boys? Bugle Boys? Oh,
he had his one strap book bag. He had his one strap book bag too.
Nah.
I had a one strap.
I had a one strap. The titties all popping. The titties popping in between. Walking.
That problem. I didn't have that problem.
You was small. I was a big dude.
I was a big dude. I was small. I was just short. And then when
you were small, you look small though compared. You look small compared to me. At least in the pictures, you look real small.
Look, I
was a meatball when I was like a kid.
Look, as a reformed fatty, I will say this. Every time I was too tall I was taller than all the kids in class. I was bigger than all the kids in class. I had to shop in men's big and tall. Every time I wanted some Z Cavaricis, they look at me and go, "No, you can't have that. You're too big. Here's some Wranglers." Every time I wanted some Jabos, they were like, and you remember I couldn't wear Jabos. I had to wear Wrangler, Lee's, and I had to wear
Not Levi's, but the Lee.
Lee. I couldn't get Levi's. And look, the only thing that I knew that I could wear that most kids couldn't wear was football jerseys back in the 80s, because they did make them for big dudes. So I would wear my dad's football jersey and just rock that. And everybody's like, "Oh, how you got that Raiders jersey? I can't find one." I'm like, "Well, you need to eat a couple of Big Macs. You need to not go to PE. You'll be fine."
That nigga said not to go to PE.
Skip.
His legs screaming. They scarred up, but boy, he fresh at top.
Y'all got some real interesting stories, but let's exhale.
I was gonna say, Rhea is gonna leave us because she's already sleepy. She goes to bed at like 8:30.
And I'm high.
8:30 who time though? Like I'm trying to figure out who time is she on?
I'm on the
She
East
on-
Coast.
Because I really
In
all right. So
Florida.
cool. All right. So before I even get the podcast started, Ray, so I listened to the podcast last week, right? And you said you was on tour, with Nxggxs.
Yes.
Bad life decisions.
Did you hit anything?
Maybe.
A woman will not speak,
that means
but
yes.
a whore will tell. So tell us, Rhea.
She was on the tour bus, so I was trying to see the day. Was you who Justin was talking
A woman
about?
won't speak, but a whore will tell.
I feel like Justin made a song about me and my friends. It was on his first album, talking about being on the about being on the dance floor and basically almost having sex on the dance floor.
You live the life. You live the life, Rhea. I will hang a flag.
I always say that if it all ends today, Mother has lived.
I love it. I've been waiting to come and actually talk about that, but I've also been waiting to discuss this movie because we got Sean, we got the Talkin Ish, we got our guy Michael, and my toxicity as well as Jazz. We are here. Welcome, people. This is the Was It Good Though podcast about movies and TV shows. I am one of your hosts. I am Jason.
I am Jazz.
And we have a collective today. One of my favorite collectives, you know. Like I said, we get these people. And it was like, how can I ever get Sean in the same room as them? How can I make this happen? And we finally found a way. We're gonna talk about some women with poor pussy management. I forgot you said in the first 15. I'll say that.
You know what? We'll try it on the next one. It's cool. We'll try.
Poor vaginal decisions.
Yeah.
There we go.
Because there's no point of editing this out.
Because we talk with the brothers the brothers just couldn't get right. Not a single one. I
even the Allstate guy. He had insurance. He's
trash in every movie.
He's still messed up.
I know
they had insurance and he still messed up.
And I know there was a template about 90s villains, but what I mean by that, what I meant by 90s villains is my boy John is a villain in every 90s movie that he was in. And I'm just trying to understand who is the biggest 90s villain. And you also got Quincy Daddy, who was also the Allstate man. So we finna get into it, but episode 129, if you guys don't know, we are discussing Waiting to Exhale. So before we really get into the podcast, of course, we want to introduce our guest. I see Miss Britt that's made it. Oh my God.
Oh, she here.
She made it.
Why she got that Steve Harvey, Mr. Potato Head? This bitch.
Okay, the Steve Harvey, Mr. Potato Head, and she got the El DeBarge look from 1992. You're looking
she
great,
said
girl.
She cut herself some bangs.
We
be home alone bored. We just be doing stuff.
Why start with the hair though? There's so many other things you could be doing at the house board.
Oh no, but no, like clean. No.
I don't think he means cleaning, Britt.
I don't think so either. Wait, I thought he meant reading. She could be reading a book.
Yoga,
exhaling,
waiting to exhale,
smoking a doobie.
So let's do this. I'm gonna pass it to my guy and I'm gonna let him introduce his women because last time.
Don't say it like that now.
Helene had an issue.
Wait, what? Hold on. What? Wait.
Number one, Britt is no
Why
one's
do you
woman.
look like you're from 1987, Britt?
Thank you for coming down from Marijuana Mountain.
See,
we
can't even get past the intro right now. Like we got a lot of movie to discuss.
We're gonna get to it. In the talk.
I'll go ahead and do it. All right,
introduce your ladies, Anthony.
My friends, because I don't need to wait to exhale. It's your friendly neighborhood super Negro Anthony Sterling here, 1/4 of the Talkin Ish podcast, a podcast amongst friends. And I am here to introduce the queens of this podcasting game, the lovely queens. And we're going to start it off with Miss Coretta with the Beretta, Miss Helene Tarragano is in the building. Now, I know I said your whole name, but you better pray your bosses don't see it.
Oh, they don't know that name, so it's fine.
Okay, thank goodness. All right.
That's my maiden name.
And no podcast is ever complete without that beautiful rare sunshine. Miss Araya Anderson is with us as well.
Yes.
There she is. Every day she does that. Every time I hear it, it brings laughter to my heart. And y'all, it's never truly complete without the priestess of beige rage, the African-American princess herself, the slightly annoyed mixed chick. Give it up, y'all, for Miss Britt Williams, looking like she's straight out of an old school DeBarge video with that. You got that juicy Jerry curl look.
It's like juicy. Is it wet?
It's wet.
It's wet. It's just wet.
It looks
Coach,
wet, but it's dry.
yeah.
I was waiting for Anthony to be like the breaker of chains, the mother of dragons.
Like, that girl can't break a chain. She light skinned. Stop that now.
Grand
Rising,
brothers, sisters,
No.
Oh Lord.
No, none of that. None of that nonsense. None of that.
Yeah, we don't. It's too late for biscuits.
All right.
Yes.
So we appreciate you and the Talkin Ish, the women of the Talkin Ish, for coming on.
We appreciate you as well.
And my brother Sean, go ahead and introduce yourself, my brother.
Toxic King, the part-time. Was it good though, co-host? I haven't been fulfilling my contractual obligations, but we'll talk about that off air. You know what I'm saying? LLBR podcast host is coming back. It's coming back for real now. I ain't got nothing else to do.
Well, we appreciate that. We hope to be a part of that whenever you get it together. And last but not least, but first time on the podcast. So hopefully we're not too rowdy, too crazy, and too wild for you, my boy. Michael, nice to meet you. Introduce yourself to the people. Let them know where they can find you and how to get to you, sir.
All right, thank you for having me. My name's Michael. I go by Jedi Mike in the space, and so I'm actually a film critic. I'm a member of the African American Film Critic Association, based here in Washington D.C. So this is why I do interviews, review films, TV shows, and stuff. I just interviewed Lashana Lynch and Kingsley Ben-Adir for One Love, and I have the interview dropping up next week. But I ran to these folks on another content creators panel and everything, and I was like, "My people, I found you. We gotta link up. You know? I can't let you just roam free and disappear. Like, you know what I mean? So like, I need, like, we gotta exchange contacts and stuff. But no, I've been watching you guys, honestly. But like, it's hilarious watching your stuff. So this is not too much for me. I'm being on my best behavior right now because I'm still trying to gauge where I fit in and all of this and stuff. So I mean, if anything, I'm not excited to be here. But thank you for having me, man.
No, it's been a pleasure, man. Definitely a pleasure. I appreciate you for coming, man. Waiting to exhale. This is a staple, I feel like, in the Black community. No, what you don't think so, Jess? Your face kind of turned up.
You sound like you said waiting to
XL.
And I was like,
I may have said that is we niggas in here, so we know how we talk.
I thought I was tripping.
Except
no,
my words may not be the way they may not sound the way they need to.
It could be a former chubby boy moment, waiting to buy XL shirt. Who knows?
Or the way he enunciated his left because he cut his beard off.
His balance is gonna be probably a little fucked up. I got it.
Beard is a part of balance.
Yeah. Equilibrium is off.
The equilibrium will be off.
That's crazy. But no.
That's like Britt cut those bangs. Now she's top heavy from her boobs, and she just don't have that head moving her forward no more.
I didn't take these shades. I'll put these glasses back on.
But too high for that. Stop it.
But Jazz, I'm going to start with you, my sister. What did Waiting to Exhale mean to you growing up? Because I feel like we were a bit young watching this movie, but
I definitely was young watching this. But what this movie taught me was never depend on a man 100%, because he could wake up one day and take everything and not have a backup plan. And Birdie didn't seem like she was having fun with that. So I was just like, nah, 100% don't do it. Put your dreams on the hold for somebody else. But that might just be, I haven't reached that level of love. But I'm not, nah.
You're not looking for it? This is you.
I mean, it's out there, but I'm not about to put my career and everything that I'm built for myself. Like, I ain't giving that up. Not for no man. Sorry. Or not for anybody, for real.
Raya. You with me? You with me? You good? So,
all
right. So you were more age appropriate when this movie actually came out.
Oh, that's a nice.
You saying you old,
bitch? We called you old. Actually, Britt is the oldest on the podcast.
Fuck you.
Yes.
So, that's fine. So it's not about that. It's just when it came out, I was 5, so I was nowhere near the age that you was in.
When it came out, I think I had a kid.
Britt got her AARP card in the mail last week.
What year did it come out?
95.
1995.
I was definitely pregnant.
Oh, 95.
Yeah.
This bitch said I was definitely pregnant.
Yeah, that's right. So
Anthony was living a good high school life, a good Christian life.
I was in high school. I think I was in like 9th or 10th grade.
So, Rhea, what did this movie do for you? What not necessarily do for you? How did this movie impact you?
It impacted me in kind of. I don't want to repeat what Jazz just said, but basically the same thing, which is why I think I remain single to this day, because I never depended on a man for anything. Because in the end, you should only depend on yourself.
I don't know. It's kind of dark. Kind of dark. This.
Hold on, I can lighten it up. Shoot.
I'm like, damn, do we sound hurt?
Yes. When it hurts so bad. Yes.
So
let's go to one of the fellas. Michael, I'm gonna bring it to you, sir. How did this movie impact you, or what did you take away from this movie?
Well, when this film came out, I still was, my dad's nutsack, so I wasn't able to see screen, but when it was able to come on VHS and was on on a television on TNT and stuff like that, or sometimes on BET and after hours, I'll watch it.
He saw it edited.
Yeah,
right.
But no. So yeah, I was
your things.
Yeah. So with this film with the Wade and XL, I think this is also exemplifying the importance of the sisterhood, which I feel is now in a crisis today, modern generation, that I feel like this is showing the positive of friendship between Black women, which unfortunately is not being perpetuated in film today. So I think this film was is about maybe 20 years ahead of its time.
Oh, everybody's so nice.
I agree. I think I think there should be a version of this, but like non-toxic. I don't know what that would look like today, because I said a non-toxic version, because everything was horrible. Like it was just like one depth out of one issue to another issue to a more depressing issue to another. I'm like, God damn, did y'all gonna ever get some air? I'm like, I get where the XL coming from, because damn, but you bitches gonna be able to breathe at any point in this motherfucking movie. What you was gonna say, Bree?
I was going to say, you can never make a non-toxic movie, because give it a generation or two and things will have changed and social norms will have changed. So the backlash that we're getting to a lot of John Hughes movies are from generations that never had to deal with those themes as humor and whatever. So it's almost impossible to make a non-toxic movie that is historical and appropriate to a community either, because every community has some form of toxicity.
You can make a non-toxic fairy tale, but it wouldn't be like real life.
But what I mean by yes, and what I mean by that, not necessarily saying is like you don't have anything, because you have to get over something to get to something. Well, you don't necessarily have to, but typically, yes, you have to have issue, a confrontation. You got to get beyond it to get past it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it ain't gotta be like this. It ain't gotta be like this though.
On this level. On level 20.
Okay.
You want like 12?
Y'all talking level 20. But hold on. Let me just ease this on for y'all. This is a Terry McMillan book.
Yes.
Okay, Michael, I know you here with me. This woman has gone through hell in her books. This is the same woman that gave hell in real life. Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
So you're saying she's the real Tyler Perry?
No, she only wrote books, bro. She did not make movies.
I mean, she crawled so he could walk and run.
Oh no, Lord! Look at what we not gonna do. What we not gonna do?
I'm here to be toxic.
Yeah,
I came here to do.
But no, like a lot of her stories at that time were very traumatic. There was a lot of PTSD in those books, especially this one. I think is pretty much one of the most heavier traumatic stories she's written, because how Stella got her groove back. It was like, okay, I went to Jamaica, I got my back blown out. Now I feel better. But this one
for now.
Exactly. A spliff, a dick, and you keep it moving.
But she didn't even know her real life was literally coming out in those books, because the way that she wrote in Waiting to Exhale, her life ended up following that later on.
Right.
She wrote into existence what ended up happening to her marriage.
Okay, thank you. Now I remember.
Damn mouth shut.
So she was manifesting the wrong shit. You see what I'm talking about?
So I should start writing.
I got to
that's what you deduced out of that, Jazz? Okay.
What you say, Sean?
I got to answer to your question.
All right, Sean. How did this movie impact you? What did you take away from Waiting to Exhale, brother?
That no matter what, no matter any circumstances that women put themselves in, they're going to blame a nigga.
Oh, so he's serious about that toxic name.
No matter what, they're going to blame us.
He's serious.
Niggas ain't shit, but we gonna get there.
Keep talking, Sean. I got you. Shoot.
I'm saying they did everything right. Besides
a whole list for you.
But guess what? But Bernie ended up turning to the motherfucker that fucked up her marriage.
Bernie?
I think it was revenge more than anything.
That was her get back.
It was the get back.
He was with the white lady. He was fine. He didn't care. Get back to who?
No.
For herself.
No,
that was her get back to herself.
Get back is revenge. It's get back to herself, but get back to get everything that he took from her. She got it back and then some. Because what people don't understand, she built that company.
Yeah.
She helped fund the company. Right. But he made a smooth move and bought everything and put it in his name.
Yo, and the fact that they were married 11 years and he started at the 1 year mark putting stuff in his name.
He had a vineyard. He had a vineyard. He had $1 million estate aside, and
it's chestnut checkers.
He was definitely playing chess. That's for damn
makes
sure.
It more sinister.
Yeah,
it's methodical, which makes it more sinister. He wasn't sloppy with it, and even then, going to game, hey, on the icing, the cherry on top, I'm leaving for a white woman. So after all of that,
that's my dad.
A young one too.
Okay, we done open up
my dad.
Well,
all right,
again,
therapy session.
But it's also at the time, with culture and stuff. We're just saying, if this film came out differently, there'll definitely be either mixed race relationships, whatever.
Yeah.
But at the time, obviously, there was still a generation of films without in our culture that was still putting the narrative of black men leaving black women for white women, XYZ and stuff, and then the toxic relationships and stuff like that. Until today, which is now we're all go with the flow and everything. But it was just almost more of a more of a dagger to black women's ego, to the point where, I'm gonna leave you after 11 years and I'm gonna go get the white woman that's doesn't even look at half as good you are, but at least she's nice to me. Boom. But then that goes to the self-hating complex. You hate your own folks. You want to send your kids to these private schools and all this stuff, not because you want better education, just because you don't want them to you think being around people that look like them is some form of lesser value form of education and stuff like that. He hated himself, which is another conversation we'll get into. But anyway, yeah.
What you got?
So I'm doing that for transition.
Thank you. For me, at that time, I had a child, and I was with a very, very stop it. I was with a very, very hold on.
It's that damn dog.
She's gonna beat the dog.
No, she's not gonna beat the dog. She's gonna feed the dog caviar and tell him how good it is.
Leave my baby alone.
While she eats ramen.
Yep.
Right.
Let that dog go to the upper room.
Leave her alone. I just spent $1,500 to take care of her.
The upper room.
Okay, well, it cost 20 minutes.
So $20 for a belt.
That part.
How did you already have that on hand?
You need to granddad that dog.
1,500. What?
Okay, so
$50 Kobayashi.
Oh God.
Okay. All right. What I was going to say is at that time I had a child, and it was becoming apparent that her father spent more time out of the house than he did in the house, if you know what I mean. So for me, that's what
fucking
everybody, every big-headed Koya with the chest hair poking out. And
we have told you about saying these hoes' names, ma'am.
Thank you. Stop doxing.
Anyway. So anyway,
I'm gonna be googling big-headed Koya to see where she lives.
I completely understood.
Fucking Anthony.
I understood. Anthony.
I'm helping you. I'm giving it a soundtrack. Please continue.
11 years.
Sacrifice.
I'm giving it a soundtrack.
You can leave me at the drop of a dime.
Don't start. Rhea,
This is a safe space, right? I'm not gonna lie. Like when I went through my breakup, this song was in rotation for me. I felt like Bernie. I was like, damn, I ain't give him 11 years. But I gave him
she
3.
wrote that for KC, right?
Did you do?
Yeah, that song was written for KC. I did
but
not
it's
know
not
that.
even. Here's the thing, though. It's not even 11 years. It could be 1. It could be 2 years. It could be 10. The point is, if you're putting more into it than they are, and they're extracting more resources from you, and your time is a resource, especially when you're older. That's the biggest problem.
Come on,
I'm sorry, what?
He giving you praise, girl. Keep
talking.
I
didn't
He's
hear.
praising
like,
you. You see, that's what Black people do when you're saying the right things.
You.
Take her good years, King. Take them.
Anyway, so as I was saying,
what's wrong with the Black woman? She don't listen. I thought they was gonna.
You gotta get the Kevin Samuels. That's the problem, you modern day Black women. You don't know to listen. Don't overtalk me. Don't overtalk me. See, that's that bullshit.
I'm not that far. I'm not going that far, but you know.
No, if you're gonna be toxic, nigga, be toxic.
How tall are you?
Dude's an asshole. I can be entertaining toxic. Dude's an asshole.
But no, seriously, that's so I understood where she was coming from, but I was also very young. So I identified with what's her name?
How do you keep having different
Robin?
Was it Robin?
She's the youngest one.
But she kept picking her own nigga.
Right.
That's
and
Robin.
then she ended up with big boys who couldn't handle it. But like I understood where she was too, because right after that relationship, that's where I was. So I totally understand. It will stick with me forever. Some of the best music I've ever heard, and a pivotal moment in my young, like 21, 22-year-old adulthood.
Okay.
Wow.
How do you have all those different pictures behind you?
It's just changing the background, babe.
She just changed them.
Oh,
those pictures not existing, Rhea. You're in a hallucination.
It's not real.
It's not real. You're in the matrix.
So since we were talking about the music, I do want to get into the soundtrack. Everybody say this is the greatest soundtrack for a movie. I feel like Anthony might feel differently, but Jazz. No, I'm gonna start with Ant. Ant, what is your favorite song from the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack?
I was your lover and your secretary, working every day of the week, singing niggas. Don't anyway. No, actually, not gonna cry, man. That song. I think it was way better than the Shoop song for me.
The Shoop song.
But that's the name of the song, ain't it? The Shoop song.
Waiting to exhale, Shoop.
Waiting to exhale, Shoop. Mm-hmm. But because here's the thing, every Black movie since my inception into this world, since I've been watching them as a kid, always have a song that tells you the whole story of the movie, where you don't even have to go see the movie.
Right.
And Not Gonna Cry is that movie. It's that song for that movie. It tells you everything that's happening on Bernadine's side and a little bit of Gloria with a little bit of Robin and a little bit of Savannah. So that's my favorite song. I love it. And plus, I'm a big Mary J fan. You know, sans the allegations, but I love it nonetheless.
Are you going to her For My Fans tour?
Hell no. I ain't got no money for Mary J. I ain't got no job, girl. What's wrong with you?
Wait, Anthony, I got a question. So what if you listen to the soundtrack before you see the movie and the song spoils it?
That's the funny thing. The soundtrack came out before the movie. That's how things used to run. They used to put the soundtrack out before the movie. Okay. Mainly Black films, but
it was like a trailer.
Yeah, it's how they pushed the movie.
Whitney Houston.
Yes. With music from Brandy, Aretha Franklin. So yeah, it was one of the ways to get you to really go see the movie. Okay. Like, truth be known, if you've never seen Superfly, just get Curtis Mayfield's Superfly soundtrack.
Oh, facts. That's
just listening to that soundtrack today on my way back from the vet.
You're welcome. You don't even never need to see the movie. And it's just like that with Waiting to Exhale, right. But I think you should watch the movie because the fuckery is real.
Miss Helene, how are you? You've been kind of silent, man. You good?
I'm chilling, waiting on my turn.
Being so polite.
Reclaim your time, Queen.
What?
So Helene is the Gloria of the group.
Why gotta be the fat bitch that cooks all day? The fuck?
So you make some good greens, huh?
I do.
No, you end up with the finest man. He can dance his
She don't know no better.
I mean,
she don't know no better. Leave her alone.
I get it, but
a good man.
You know, she wasn't.
All right, Savannah.
I like
okay,
Gloria.
Savannah.
He's a good man.
No,
Savannah.
I don't want Savannah.
He's a good man.
I'll take Gloria.
Good man, Savannah.
So Helene,
he cheating on his wife, but he a good man, Savannah.
What was your favorite
soundtrack?
Song?
I would say probably either Let It Flow or Why Does It Hurt So Bad. Those resonated as I got older. I didn't get it when it came out when I was 14 or 15. I didn't get it then, but it definitely resonated as I got older.
Man, Toni Braxton sounded like a true baritone back then, huh?
She did.
That voice was deep, like Barry White deep, but it was hot.
Yeah, see, I had read the book before I saw them because my mom was a huge reader. I mean, she was a huge Terry McMillan fan. So we had an actual library, and I had read the book probably a couple years before the movie came out. So there was, of course, vast differences in the two, but to put I would say the actresses that they picked were very representative of what was in the book, but the soundtrack kind of, I guess, brought it all together. The soundtrack is great. Just it's one of those you can put on and let it play, but you have to be in a very fucked up place to let it play. Like you got to be way past melancholy to put on that soundtrack and to let it play.
I think you got to be abused in order to really let that soundtrack play.
So Jazz, how was you was spinning the fuck out this album, huh?
Oh damn!
My bad. Michael, what was your favorite song from the soundtrack?
Drag. There you go, King.
But I said the song for me was Not Gonna Cry. I'm experiencing this film years later, but I think going back into the era, even with like soundtrack of like Boomerang and like Soul Food and like I'm into like movie scores and soundtracks, you know, even though now today we're just replacing movie scores and just with the regular soundtrack and stuff. I think that back then that era of music was talking about love, heartbreak, talking about trauma in a way of like of the romanticizing of love and relationships and stuff. And I feel like we kind of like lost that in terms of film today. So it's kind of nice at least just to watch that time, like in that time period where we were talking about love, talking about, you know, Boys to Men and that era and everything. Like it just is like, and I say I like R&B and like old school R&B. So and it's kind of like going against the narrative of songs actually talking about relationship instead of just, you know, fucking, you know. So, but even though there's part of songs in there, but it's like how I get you to the bedroom, I got to butter you up for you know.
So
it's yeah.
So Michael, I gotta ask you this question for you and you only. Best decade of R&B.
80s.
Thank you. Okay. Okay.
That's not a wild question.
I like it.
Michael, what year were you born?
90. I'm 26.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm also married too. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
He understood what the 80s brought. That's why he married.
Exactly.
You know. You know.
Yeah,
that
so
loofah.
so my parents, like my dad was born in 59. So yeah, he so I have older parents, so I had like I was ingrained with all this stuff. So yeah.
Did your dad always tell you you don't know nothing about that when he would play Luther Vandross in the house?
No, it's not about you know nothing about that. He just say, hey, listen to this. You know,
nice.
That's it.
Jazz, what was your favorite
song from the soundtrack?
Yes,
I'm gonna say "Count on Me," and then "Not Gonna Cry." Those are my two favorites.
Rhea?
Sitting up in my room and Not Gonna Cry.
Damn, all y'all niggas.
That sounds like something you just did before you came on the podcast.
That's what I do every day.
I know.
I sit in my room trying not to cry.
Why are you crying in your room?
That's a good place to cry.
Yeah, where else would I cry?
Cry in the shower.
The shower is the best place.
I was just about to say that you got to do it in the shower.
Yeah, because you don't know how much you cry.
No, I like to see when I cry. I like to see my tears and feel this.
Jason be in the mirror crying. Weirdo.
I like this.
So vain.
Hold on, let me sit on this ring camera.
I just know Jason made a video recently. Like, let me see how I cry with no beard.
What the fuck? Sean, what was your favorite?
Look how these tears just fall
Well,
asymmetrically.
As I was a little bit fast, so All Night Long was mine.
Oh yeah, SWV.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. They was doing the era when I really got to listen to music. You know, when you were younger, you be one lasting a long time. Nah, look here. Let's get to the point, baby. Let's find your spots. Let's get in out, get some food.
I'm not mad at it.
As she cries, that she sit in her room, not gonna cry. Trying not to go cry.
I remember the first time I had sex and the chick had cried. I was like, wait a minute. Did you consent to this? Look, I was like 19 years old. I had just started watching SVU, and she said, "No, you doing good." I said, "No, them tears scaring me. The tears are scaring me." Are you changing your mind here? Like, let's talk.
I have the right to do it.
Britt.
Don't cry. Don't.
Britt, what is your favorite song from the soundtrack?
Okay, so not high at all. My favorite song. I even wrote it down. Give me 2 seconds. Just give me a second. Give me a second. Not Gonna Cry. I don't know why I needed a second. It was Not Gonna Cry. I think I was in my feelings deeply at that time, and that just resonated. And once again, because I was over 20 years old when some of you didn't even exist. It was a different era. It was a different time.
I didn't exist. I was just swimming. Okay.
Nah, you didn't exist. You got a few of your brothers out there by then.
Yo.
But it was a different time, and there were different expectations on women and young women at that time. So like, if you weren't wanted by a man, there was something definitely wrong with you. So a man getting rid of you and definitely getting rid of you for a white woman, ultimate slap in the face. Like, you have failed on every level. It's like being fat and ugly. You know,
like
what do they say? Pick a struggle. Yep, yeah. Pick a struggle.
Pick a struggle.
Pick here, boy. I would have had a time in the 90s. Time in the 90s, boy.
But that song really, it helped too. There was a lot of music, and Mary J. Blige was definitely one of them that kind of built you up as a woman and made you feel like you could assert yourself. You could say no. You could live after a man leaves you or doesn't want you or cheats on you. It was, you know, she was far, far away from me, but I felt like she got me. So like that song will always be in my Men Ain't Shit playlist in my phone.
I don't know, Brittany. I have to disagree on some of that. Not the song, because that's your personal choice, but the 90s was a resurgence of like kind of Black women feminism to me. It seemed like it was okay to have the me, that's where the moniker of I don't need no man ain't shit really started.
Right, and that's
really
what I'm
started
saying
in the 90s.
Right, but what I'm saying is when you were like 18, 19, 20, 22, 23 from the late 80s into the early 90s, you came in with these expectations. And like I said, her music, Mary J. Blige and other artists started to make you feel emboldened to stand up for yourself. You know, you were coming from
but then we found out Mary wasn't standing up for herself. Shit.
Thank you. Anyway.
A lie.
Just like TLC making this Scrub song with Broke His Head. Anywho.
It was a good song, though.
And what? Oh, nope.
It was a good song.
But you made a very good point of talking about about the feminism, because I said that at least in this film, one thing I appreciate that none of the women were actually, you know, being vindictive towards each other. Like they were easy to call out, in which is what you want in terms of a friend, to call it, you know, your BS. But at the same time, they weren't either making fun of you or viewing you less than as like, oh, it being like the nasty, toxic, you know, friendship group. They were just talking about their mess and, you know, and venting towards each other. But at the end of the day, uplifting, saying, listen, like, I can see all your BS, even though I can't see all my own, you know, story and everything. But which is why you need to rely on on a inner circle to help, you know, lift you up, especially at that time, because they're, to me, I don't know. I was trying to pay attention to like the film, like about their ages. The only one I know was that Savannah, she said she was 32. Right, so I'm guessing the age range of these women are in their 30s, aside from Robin, because she's giving like 24, 25, 26.
I think Robin was like late 20s.
Yes.
But she was the youngest, and I believe Gloria was the oldest in terms of the book.
40s, though,
yes,
right?
definitely in her 40s. Son going to college. Yeah. But yeah, I just think that today, you know, we talk about relationships, modern dating, and everything, like all about the wall, fearing, you know, the you know, your time, you got, you know, a biological clock and all that stuff. But I think the big thing, what you're seeing is that, and then this film, the transition of talk of the image of just, I guess, just the single woman, or saying that whether you need to be valued if you have a relationship, and if you don't have a man or not married. And not only just the culture from all areas, from divorcees to single women to mothers as well, putting the pressure on daughters and stuff. So getting married, which is what I think Savannah's mother did.
Savannah's mother.
So yeah,
toxic as hell.
Yeah, she was
absolutely. This was the failure of Big Mama. Big Mama died in this movie. Oh, you muted.
You're muted. Big Mama was
muted, you weirdo.
My bad. No, I just hit my parlay. My bad. I got too excited.
Super Negro, you're muted.
But me, because I didn't mention mine. I didn't. He was.
I was shooping.
I didn't.
Oh no, I wasn't singing. I was just saying that I was agreeing with him with Savannah's mom, because the whole thing with Savannah's mom is it's all about cycles. Like all four women are going through the same cycles 9 out of 10 their moms went through, and they're just running the cycles again. But the good thing about the movie was you kind of see that they find a way to break those cycles. You know, Savannah finally cursing out our mama, which I know many of us would like to do with our mamas once in a blue moon and one time only.
How about you
But yeah, well, these fucking marrying. And then she had to call back because she knew that Slipper was about to hit her upside that perm. So that was one of the good things about the movie was actually seeing that, yes, they went through a lot of drama. Yes, they did get with some guys that weren't shit. Yes, they did have poor coochie management. But at the end of the day,
you can say pussy.
I know I know, but you know, I'm trying to help them with their edit.
Oh, it's in there.
Oh, okay, well, so be it.
Nigga.
But I will say the movie as a whole, I know everybody talk about the impact. The impact of this movie back in 95 truly was Nxggxs Ain't Shcht, the motion picture. Like, I went to the theater with my mom, her sisters. Like, and don't act, I was the driver. I just went to see the movie with them. And when I tell you the moments, and I'll give you two moments. When John told her, I'm leaving, and she said, with the bitch that do your accounting, yes.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah. My mom did just like that. I bet you that bitch white. And lo and behold, she was palm colored. And then the next one, in all honesty, was, and I still say, if you gonna throw something, learn how to hit your target, Troy. If you gonna hit a bitch with an orange,
he was
hit that bitch with an orange.
Nasty ass bitch.
You raggedy bitch.
Man, you know,
but she hit her target though.
Oh yeah, she hit target clean. Man, but no, I just remember
on the screen. We don't know what he hit. What he hit, man. I don't want to hear that shit.
Well, can we talk about this ninja wearing leather in Arizona? I was like, I know I wasn't. I mean, I haven't been delivered yet, but I'm like, what?
Circulation.
But that was so 90s. That was so 90s.
Exactly. You had niggas going bald on purpose for no reason at all in the 90s.
Don't talk about Tupac. He was able to pull that off.
You pulled. No, it was other people.
Well, but also this is 1995.
The vest, they do videos with no shirt on underneath.
Yeah,
like Jodeci.
Like this was the look.
That's what I'm saying. We were in the age of Jodeci.
Yeah, Jodeci.
Casey, JoJo.
Yeah, black leather was everything. You know, but this movie was good. Bobby Brown. But also, did y'all mention that this was, I believe, Forrest Whitaker's first?
I did see
his.
He was a director.
Yeah, I saw that.
This was his first film. This was his directorial debut.
Mm-hmm.
And for me,
he had the vision.
His eye was on the sparrow.
In one good eye, his eye was on the sparrow. But
eye on the prize.
As much as I enjoyed the movie, there was some cuts and some transition shots. I just kept saying, why did you go there? Perfect case in point. Well, my thing was, you remember when Gloria first met Marvin, and it's the scene where she's walking away and she goes, I hope he's not looking. And she turned and he's just staring at them hips. And she's like, oh my God, he's looking. And they show her walk off, but then they did a transition.
They came to the kitchen. Like it was like with these two melons and like I was like,
but that's very
I've taken the film class before. I'm like, what is like?
But that's very decade specific. If you look at the totality of black.
So two cantaloupes represent the black woman experience? What?
No, I'm just saying.
And how does it relate to white supremacy, Brett?
Because she's going to find a way.
She's going to.
She is going to relate it to white
supremacy. We don't do her tap corner on here.
So again, two cantaloupes. Why would you go and just segue to two cantaloupes in the kitchen? Forrest Whitaker. Were you doing it with your good eye?
Maybe.
Or were you doing it with the devil's eye?
Hey man, I can't do that. I can't do the man like that.
I love Forrest Whitaker.
What he's seen. and that's what he went for.
He say he's seen what he's seen.
He thought he saw the vision.
He saw the vision. Did he do like old boy? I seen it. I seen it. Like, okay, Forrest, sure. But there was a lot of edits. I just kept sitting like some of the shots, some of the scenes didn't last long enough for me. Like when you finally get to see Tyreek, Gloria, and Marvin actually interact with each other. Like when Tyreek went get the paint and Marvin wanted the sandwich, which I actually love. I thought there was really good chemistry between Loretta Devine and the late great Gregory Hines. But it lasted real, like it just went away. Like I'm like, okay, we went from this loving shot of black ass Wesley Snipes and Angela Bassett to this, and then 2 seconds later it went somewhere else, and I'm like, okay, that's not a good transition to anything.
They shouldn't have. They either should have put Wesley Snipes' character in the movie like it was in the book, or just left him out completely.
Yeah,
because the book he was not what he seemed in the movie. In the book, he was a whole ass villain in the book.
Yeah,
and the movie made him. The movie made it seem like he was a good dude.
You couldn't keep regurgitating it. Give her another villain after the movie started off with her getting the goddamn villain. Why would you take somebody?
Tyler Perry do it all the time.
He does. Tyler Perry will whoop a bitch's ass during the whole movie.
Renaissance.
The whole movie.
Right.
Tyler Perry gave women AIDS
all the time.
She should.
She cheated once.
She should.
You got burnt
and got some AIDS. That's what she deserved.
She slept with Gucci third leg, and it went south. That is all.
Hey man.
Hey, look.
Could you imagine looking at a white woman, that white woman, and then looking at Angela Bassett and being like, "Yes, that is my palm-colored goddess."
Again, ask my father.
Speaking
but
of
I
white
think
women, go ahead, Michael.
Because I will say this now. I will say I am delivered from the skin milk. Okay, I am
delivered.
Yes,
I don't like white women no more.
Right.
So you still don't matter.
Now, I said my black wife is right next to me, so I'm just saying.
Is she holding your hand?
No, she not holding my hand. No.
She got the cue card. She got the cue cards inside. Nigga, get it right.
Put it right.
Say what I wrote. Say what I wrote.
Right. Read the script. Read the script, nigga.
Michael.
Read the script.
Michael, does she have a bonnet on?
Does she have no?
Okay, so you say
why do you have to look just to make sure that he wasn't lying to us? He's like, what?
Oh, she's a beautiful woman. Hello.
She is. Yes, fine.
Got you, melanated queen. I see that.
Well, yeah. So what I'm saying is that while watching this film, seeing that I guess you could say I used to be.
Are you saying that you have dipped your toe in the milk of magnesia? Is that what you?
Just only once though, and it nearly killed me. I'm not even kidding. I'm being but anyway. Well, that's for another show. But what I'm saying, I'm just saying for young black men that are educated, smart, the nerds, whatever. I'm saying is that there is a culture where other races of women are actually targeting these men and find the very opportunity where they feel like they're not being valued. Feel like they're not being respected, XYZ. However, I'm not letting this dude off the hook because it's also a sign of self-hatred as well, where if you're not fully comfortable in your own identity as a man, black man, etc., because I can't, take my blackness out of my identity. That's who I am. At a time, I felt like, whether I felt wasn't really accepted, by the black woman, whatever, like when I was like young as a kid, right? And now I've had other, girlfriend. I just had one time because it was during a season of my life where I felt I wasn't being valued. And every man at least have that experience that once or several times in in their life. And even though we're in a new generation now where you can do whatever you want and stuff, I'm just saying this particular time period, it showed that there are some men that take their I would say insecurity of themselves and project it in terms of the women that they're trying to have relations with, even their own wives, which is essentially what you're seeing this situation where it's creating that culture of the division between black men and black women, where it's like, no, I don't belong to you women anymore. Right. So, which I think that what this film revealed that era, or at least being highlighted in film. But yeah, anyway.
I like that.
He was quintessential though, like I don't even know what you would call, like, self-hated, because even like they didn't touch on it too much in the movie. It was like a split second that they talk about Savannah coming out there, but she knew Savannah prior to being in Arizona. And anybody that knows places like Arizona or New Mexico know there's a very small Black population.
Yes, correct.
So like he purposely brought her to a place already with a very small Black population, and then made it even smaller by saying, I don't even want my kids to go to school with the few Black kids that are even in Arizona. And then like there were, I guess you can even call them microaggressions, like the hair. He didn't want her to cut her hair. He wanted her hair to be long. And there were all these little microaggressions that she would kind of say during the course of the movie that showed him to be completely like self-hating.
Yeah. Brittany?
Yeah, Brittany, you got it.
I wanted to say, as a byproduct of that kind of relationship, so I had white, and I use the past tense. I had a white mother. I have a Black father. My mother died when I was 5. So I was raised solely by a Black man, completely by a Black man. But with that said, my father grew up in Texas. He left when he was 18. And when he left, he never dated another Black woman again at all. And from observing my father, from being deeply enmeshed in, the purity of white women and the victimhood of white women, because my half sister is closer to my dad than I am.
The purity.
He prefers her over me with her blonde hair, blue eyes. So I see what happens, and it is, like you said, an absolute self-hatred, I don't like who I am because I was told growing up I was gross, I was disgusting. This was the pinnacle right here with the pale skin. So if I can reach that level, if I can get a white woman to marry me, then I have value, number one. Number two, I have reached the pinnacle, what everybody wants. I am, the master. When in reality, more often than not, when you see white women and Black men in their households, the woman rules the roost. He follows her lead. And so any children they have are typically raised with white sensibilities, white thought processes. And if they are talked about their skin color, and I say this once again because I have nieces and nephews in that actual situation, and it's I don't see color. I don't subscribe to that. I mean, I am Black, but it's when it's convenient, and it's a more of a leaning towards the white side. So that's what her husband wanted. He didn't want to deal with the strength of the woman in front of him. He didn't want to deal with the strength of a Black woman who has to, as we all know, hold the world up on her shoulders and her back. He didn't want to deal with that level of strength. What he wanted was someone that he could dominate emotionally, intellectually, and culturally.
But do you notice he wanted that strength when he was starting his business?
Oh, of course he did, because you know what?
He wanted that strength and that secretary with that master's
degree. I'll take your resources. I'm not going to take you.
His business.
Correct.
Right. But that's what all corporate America does to Black women. They siphon everything out of them because they know everything they're capable of. And once it's all sucked out of them and they leave, she was a problem anyway.
She was
her intellectual property, so it's just that watching that situation in real time, living through my father finding blonde hair, blue eyes, he never dated. And I would ask him, why don't you date Black women? And he'd be like, too ghetto for me. Just a blanket statement.
Damn,
but
he went
you
James
mentioned
Earl
something
Jones,
culture. Right. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying her dad went James Earl Jones. But I do have one thing I want to talk about, but I want y'all to finish. I'm not running the show, Jazz and Jason are. But
I'm done.
I just wanted to ask
this
right
Hotep
quick.
moment has been brought to you by one Britt Williams, aka the
Leave my Hotep corner alone.
The slap.
White women are the devil.
Was it guided by the
backhanded slap?
ancestors?
That backhanded
because
it
connected pretty beautifully to that white face.
It did.
I think the ancestors said, let us guide this Nxggxs hand across this pale, palm-colored woman. Because she went down.
She did.
She didn't just go, oh my God, this nigga slapped me.
No, she did a 360, like she spun. Yeah.
She did that Tyler Perry spin in the hospital.
But here's the thing: as a white woman, she might have barely touched her cheek, but they are beyond dramatic and ridiculous when it comes to confrontations with black women.
That is true. That is true.
No, I don't think she was. I think that one.
I think it connected.
Oh, okay.
I think that one hit her to the goddamn core because Bernie had a lot of pent up aggression when she walked into that meeting, especially since she had just come from the bank and didn't have no money. Oh no.
Yeah.
He brought that slap back from like 1632. That's how far back that slap came.
So I'm wondering.
Sorry. No, I was just.
Oh no. I was just about to make a joke because I was like, I wonder how much she made at the what was it? The Love's Hangover garage sale.
Oh, the garage sale.
Because
everything
was $1. And when I saw that beautiful Stingray on sale for $1, I said, if anybody
I would have cleaned up that day.
I'd have walked in with $10 and say, all right, I'm running the store. We running this. Because look, Bernadine was every jilted, heartbroken, and destroyed woman in this whole movie. She is the process of a breakup. She is the process of, whether people want to believe it or not, she was abused.
Yeah.
During her marriage. The fact that when she wanted to start her catering company,
732.
Yeah, okay, that right there.
32.
You counted the times we made love. And you started at 51.
That's weird.
I'm like, okay, you said that.
How do you even know to start counting? Like, you get in a relationship with somebody and you start counting then?
It's a tit for tat.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
I did the math. Hold on, let me find it.
The relationship's no good.
It was 7. What was the number?
732.
732. So let me
out of
see.
11 years.
365 times 11.
And then
4,015.
About an improper influence.
732.
Yes.
So that was. It looks like that was every 5.5 days. That's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah, but
to be married for 11 years, I mean, but that's just the average.
But again,
the thing is, you don't meet when you get married, so they were together much longer than that.
That's true.
So you think he started counting during dating, or did he start counting during marriage?
Oh, marriage.
He counted at 51.
I think marriage.
Yeah, because he said he started counting at 51. So they probably hit it about 50 times out before they got married.
Quick.
And then he just started counting. I don't know.
But it's also a possibility he counted after the children, because that's a common thing after children that sex stops, or at least or in difficult relationships.
Well, because you know what she did say, because she was like, he told me when he started counting right after 51, I should have left his ass then. So it doesn't seem like he started. Sorry. It doesn't seem like he started at the very beginning.
Yeah.
So maybe you're right. Like he started after they started having kids or something.
Yeah.
But again,
because she wouldn't have left it after 51. What's 51 and 5 times? Like that's less than a year. So I don't think she would have left him at a year, at the year mark.
But again, like I said, I think she went through a lot of abuse because of the fact if she built the company, he put it in like he said, for him to put everything in his name after year one of the marriage, that is some sinister stuff.
Shit.
That's premeditated, you know. So again, and I've always said this, just like with America, it's built on the backs of black women. His empire or his wealth and legacy is built on her shoulders. He stood on her shoulders to stand tall. Because if y'all ever seen Michael Beach is not a tall man, but he is a shark king.
And he's a dick in
And
almost everything.
he's cheating through the cinematic universe of black films.
Yes.
He's just every
and
film.
y'all notice
soul food.
Yeah, but y'all notice there was a few from Soul Food in there too.
Yes, you had Jeffrey
from the little boy,
James,
their son,
the son too.
Ahmad.
But that's very
was in it.
typical in Hollywood, especially back then.
Yeah, recycle Negroes.
Yeah, you know, the non-problematic, the ones who go along to get along, the ones who aren't going to push back, you know, the pinnacle of what we think Black people are, because you hear it constantly where people of color go to an audition for whatever their culture is, and they're told you're not Black enough, you're not, you know, Asian enough, you're not whatever enough, because it doesn't fit the racist stereotype in the director's head. I'm sorry, did I go down the white people suck thing again?
You
No,
did. We know.
I don't know. I was trying to be careful when you said it, because like it's not even about racist culture. You said culture, because even with that, just there's some white women who work Black men that can be in the cookout and be perfectly fine, and stuff. There's
Cody Rhodes.
Right, exactly. So what I'm saying is like it's culture that, again, that continuing narrative of thinking that, Black women think that, there's something wrong with me, the fact that the Black man doesn't want me. But it's vice versa too, or Black men thinking like, wait, I always was attracted to you, but you guys thought I talk white, or I'm talking, or I act a certain way, whatever. It's the same thing, but when that becomes a actual vendetta against your own people on the opposite sex, that's where it becomes a problem, right? Again, it's not even about preferences; it's about the insecurity that you have with yourself. But that's a culture thing. You gotta get it perpetuated through media and saying, well, one thing, Black women do, they always do X, Y, Z, or Black men always do this, and then they have a whole movement, divestors and all that stuff, So it's like it gets perpetuated, but that gets go over culture, which is why like 95, here we're now like what 20, almost like 20. Well, like 30 years now.
Within 30,
yeah.
30 is
like
gonna
30.
be it's gonna be 30 next year. And also it being in 95 was the year of Afrocentric, right? So every Black person, especially myself, was rocking African medallions, or we were talking about going back to the motherland, and some of us wanted to. No, I ain't had no damn.
My dad wore one. My dad wore one every day. 3 hoops in his ear
with his white woman.
Your dad,
he was the nigga from Don't Be a Menace by Drinking Your Hood.
Yes, your dad is
but like he would hand me Malcolm X books and then walk out with his white woman to go out to dinner. So,
but you got to understand something. Your dad was doing something for all of us. He was getting reparations by fucking them white women. Just think about that. Because he, like Preach said,
is that what?
I don't want the reparations.
Doing
I don't
what
want
the white man has done to us for 400 years. And what's that? Fuck them. And that's it. So
I will say this is probably this movie was probably one of the first movies that I saw on film where the perpetuated myth of you Black bitches that speech that what's his name gave to the young one. Was it Troy?
Troy to Robin.
I will say that was probably because like we hadn't seen a lot of the whole you left me for a white woman. Like there was a few, like we hadn't really seen that since Jungle Fever, really and truly. Like, you with this white girl now. But like, you had all these tropes in this movie that you hear little bits and pieces, but this was a full-length feature film that made like, that was in a box office. And it was the first time that I had really seen that whole like, you Black and you this is why don't nobody want you. Like, I'm thinking about 95, nigga, who didn't want Black women in 95? Like we was killing it in 95. Like I can look back at that damn Freaknik thing that was on TV. I'm like, bitch, we was killing it in 95. From the 50s.
Right, but no, a lot of boomers that were dating at that time, you know, unless you had a deep sense of self, if you did the things, if you didn't have a deep sense of self, a deep love for your culture and the women around you, if there was something else going on, you gravitated towards white women. The boomers did, because you have to remember there was a time when they couldn't even look a white woman in the eye, and now they can fuck one. Oh hell yeah!
That's kind of crazy.
I got a question for y'all. Did y'all go to Freaknik?
No,
So
was
I
too young.
interviewed Jermaine and what's it, Uncle
Luke.
Yes, Uncle Luke. Yeah, I interviewed them, right? So both my parents were in Atlanta, and I believe it's saying it was 97 or 96. Because my mom definitely rocked the haircut that women
The
had.
asymmetrical.
Yes, did that,
This one?
stuff.
With the
And
long hair?
yeah, so when I got the early screening for Hulu, I was like, when they showed that, my mom, I'm not dead ass. My mom is literally in right next to one of the cars, one of the few of the other girls, while they're walking by, like,
Shut up.
looking at the camera and stuff. Now she wasn't doing, ain't like fuck shit or anything, but like with the
Yes.
That you
haircut.
know of.
Yes.
Not on film.
On the
Not
But my dad
camera.
though, my dad was there with the rims and shit. Like that was his whole thing. And when I was growing up, he's like, man, back then, man, I got the rims, man. You couldn't touch me, bro. I was like, okay. I'm like, I didn't know.
Good to know,
What was
Father.
up with all these rims? And I was looking
Right.
at the freak, and I'm like, oh, okay. Then had a whole segment about the rim shit.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and in '98, here I am. So, anyway, so I again, I have a staple in Black history. But yeah,
I went when I was 17, but that was for a class trip, and it just so happened that our class trip coincided with Freaknik when we went to Atlanta.
Oh, I thought Freaknik was the class trip.
well, it originally
Girl.
started from
It was a school thing. It was a
School
college.
thing.
What was it? College City? University City. Which is Spelman Morehouse and Clark, Atlanta. And it started off as a picnic, but y'all seen the documentary.
Yes.
This ain't about the documentary. This is about Niggas Ain't Shit, the motion picture.
This
So,
is
you know, bitter.
And I don't know, we haven't got to, because I don't know anybody who's also married on here, but like, as someone who's been all bit, okay, so
Technically, I'm
I
still
was
married.
one.
okay.
The
So-
divorce
so-
ain't on paper yet.
Oh, okay. My apologies. I'm not trying to get anybody's business or anything, but I'm just speaking just for myself. Is that for me, as being new in my marriage, is that it also puts like a fear, or at least just an understanding of what possibly could happen when a woman is fully devoted to man, and the fact that I have this weight of responsibility, not to destroy it and throw it out the window, especially when you give me children and everything, finances, all that stuff. Like the fact that I got to my point in my career, like as a movie critic and interviewing like Jeffrey Wright and Shirley K. Brown and folks like that, like it's like, oh yeah, watch my channel. Anyway, link right here. I also interviewed Halle Berry.
Name drop.
Yes. So anyway, yeah, on my Instagram too. You see it, it's on there. But all that is also because my wife has, pushed me into, doing like my dreams and everything, but she's very much a part of it. And as a person who is in a point of success, I'm not at the, the top point yet, but on that trajectory, only to see when I'm seeing this person who the woman was the Lily had helped with the foundation to build everything that he has, only to on the side have all these investments that she has no clue about until
That's the thing that tripped me out too.
That's where I'm like, and this is where, for the fear of women, where we always be, even coming from a biblical point of view, Christian, point of view, like, oh, honor your husbands and stuff like that. It definitely put fear into women not understanding the reality of what happened, that a man taking advantage of all those things when you're not having that full transparency as husband and wife. Right. Because I'm just saying there's not make big investment I'm not getting, my wife doesn't know about. It just not happen. Like even when I'm like, when I'm trying to buy a gift, it's like, hey, what happened? Oh, I got you this today, whatever. All right. And she see it and you look at it, find okay, yeah, you got it from there. Or wait, where purchase from? Oh, something different. Like that's just the transparency that we have. That's not everybody, and I'm just saying that, but the fact that you have a freaking vineyard and all these things, and only to leave $300,000 to your wife, and also to sell a house.
And to be okay with it, to be like, if you have the house, sell it. Like the house that your children grew up in, the house that your children live in, and you're okay with like, oh, I gave you the house, why don't you just sell it?
She never had value to him. She never meant anything. She was a tool to utilize to get where he wanted to go, and he knew what to say and how to say it to make her feel secure enough to support him.
For 11
because
years.
Women don't
And
just
the fact
run
that he kept putting out her business too.
Right. But he used all the right words. He did all the right things, because it's like being with someone who's abusive. They don't walk up, say, hi, my name is, and then slap the dog piss out of you. And you're like, yes, I'm in love. No, it's he saw someone that he could manipulate to his end to get where he wanted to get to, and that was white women. Honestly, to me, that was the pinnacle for him. I got me a white woman. I got me a white woman.
I mean, that's true. But if you look back at if your parents were in a good marriage, and I don't know however, that a good marriage, I guess that's on a sliding scale, but you are supposed to, for fear of being she left me in times as hard, she should be my ride or die is the term that we, use now. She was, from the outside looking in, was literally the pinnacle of what a wife was supposed to be. How she said, I was the background to your foreground. And she was what is the term now? She was fit and what is that? What's
FBI. She was fit,
yes,
inspirational, beautiful.
That. So
Shout
she kept herself up. She had the long hair that he wanted. She helped him with the businesses. She was a stay-at-home mom. She was raising these children. She was doing the house was immaculate. The house, she was doing all those things that she was supposed to do as a wife, and it still didn't pay off.
Because she fit all of his wants for that particular moment in his life. She didn't assert herself. She already gave shit up for him. So she showed him that she could subvert herself in any way, shape, or form and degrade herself almost in order to realize his dream. She was always about the first marriage. It's like when I was engaged, what did I call my husband? Well, my ex-husband now. My first ex-husband. I mean, he knew from jump what she was to him. And he where he wanted to be. And that's the shitty part is she did everything like you said, like Helene said, exactly like Helene said. She did everything that Black women are told to do in order to secure a good Christian man who will hold you up and take care of you and be everything for you and be your in the rain, be your house, when everyone's homeless.
The helpmate.
And he ain't nothing.
But she did all those things, and that's what happens.
The fucked up part about it is
was a mammy.
Bernadine did what she was supposed to do.
Into a mammy.
Bernadine did what she was supposed to do, and she still ended up just like the other women. She still ended up a single. She basically ended up the pinnacle of what we are told we can't be, which is a single Black mother. That's what she ended up. She did this shit correctly and still ended up almost a broke Black bitch.
Her and Gloria ran the same track. Gloria, I'm sorry. The moment Giancarlo Esposito walked through that door, even when I saw it the first time, I went, well, that gentleman's kind of sugary.
That is a homosexual man.
Let a man.
That's a human being. But
I felt so bad for Gloria in that instance because she really did not want to believe it. And I'm like, honey,
but the thing is
when
he told her
has taken full effect.
Right, because even when he told her, he was like, I've been bisexual for a very long time. And she just goes, what? And he goes, oh, but now I'm fully ligga bigga tigger. I am gay.
I'm part of the alphabet crew. I got a membership.
I'm alphabet mafia. Yeah, and I was like, not Team Big Brother Almighty. But it was. And her face just dropped. But I love how she said that. Now that is low, even for you to go this far. And he
really thought
Gloria.
that man claimed to be gay just so he would not sleep with her. And I'm like, how your self-esteem has got to be so goddamn low.
Yes.
Like your self-esteem has got to be in hell to think that a man would just lie to your face, that a Black man in the 90s would tell you I am gay.
Right.
Versus sleeping with you? Lord
You're
Jesus.
Not Gloria, your fat did not turn him into, well, I can't say.
And she wasn't even, but that's just it, she wasn't even that big.
Coach could have been the one that been the last straw.
the straw that broke the camel's back.
You know what?
As a bisexual person. But as a bisexual person, he also didn't value her from when he got with her and knew.
No, at all.
No. Because
she was a beard.
Person, you let someone know. You let someone know, though. You tell them. The minute you realize it, you act on it, you tell that.
The 80s was different. The 80s and 90s just put it in context.
I know. And I understand that. And my dad raised me in the gay community. So I was raised in the 70s and 80s fully immersed in the gay community. My father was in a throuple. I mean, like
a white throuple.
Yeah, it was no white and Native American, indigenous.
Okay, well, I mean, at least you got
just
some
anything,
fry bread.
Just anything but black is basically what we're hearing.
Pretty much.
Nigga said everything but black.
He wasn't going back, is basically what he was doing. But
right.
like, you know, the way he said it, it was obvious he never valued her though, because if he valued her and later on he realized, but he couldn't come out because of the times and whatever, and he finally did, he didn't pull her to the side and tell her quietly with love and concern. He just was like
throwing that pussy on him.
That man just didn't want to see no cat, so he was gonna say whatever he had to not to have them thrown in his face.
That man, he was like, "Look, I'm gonna stay in the room." You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take it. What you mean? Especially in the room, they're like she forced it, like motherfucker, I'm gay. Shit.
Especially since Gloria was like, he asked, "Where's the son?" And she's like, "Oh, he ain't gonna be back till tomorrow." And oh Lord,
kid, she pressured him into the way he said it. He was just trying to do his one every now and then good deed.
Right.
Once a year fatherly duty.
Look, but that is not good for her.
No, it's not. But again,
that's her fault. She should have moved on. Nobody tell her to hold that coochie hostage for a gay man.
Well, you know, Helene said like Helene said Bernadine did everything right and still got dogged. But out of all the women, I think Gloria is the perfect could be wife. Because she's the type that'll give you neck and then cook you neck bone right after.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And
now,
definitely,
this goes to the term also, but like this goes to the term like pick me. To people where women are so notorious about like, well, yeah, we just got some collard greens and all stuff and everything and stuff. But it's also this goes into in this film about manipulators too, because like she's also with the whole her son. Which we have a generation we call about son husbands, where women, because of they have not resolved the trauma in themselves, not the fact that she's a single mother, is the fact that she's still holding on and striving to relation with her son, wishing that can be her man, not in the literal sense of, oh, I want to actually, be with my son, but just in terms of that love and nurturing relationship. And then the fact that he want to go to Spain, no, another man's leaving me. And that's which then creates a vendetta when him for her son later he'd be like, man, screw you, mom, and i.e. black women, because you suffocating me, you're doing all these things and stuff like that. All right, I'm going to get Becky. So it creates there's
at least a handful of black movies out there around that time where that was a consistent theme that ran through, where the mother was like, or she was like, you ain't shit, you're just like your daddy, fuck you, blah blah blah, and he runs out and finds himself a white woman, so we can't just say that this is a men ain't shit. There were a lot of movies really at that time addressing the toxic nature in the black community about being single parents or leaving a child behind or whatever it may be. And so this was just one of, in my mind, one of a handful of amazing movies that stepped out of the norm and said, look, we're people like everyone else. We're not a monolith. Some of us go through this situation. Some of us go through that. But there is a reality to why black women are left to the side so much by our own men. So I think it was an incredibly well-rounded movie, and it highlighted the women as human beings, not just the, statuettes that they were created to be by the men in their lives. And it showed that not every man also was a fucking loser.
Sunshine was created to just be a statuette.
Well, she put that on herself. But I do want to say what you said, agree with you, Britt. And I also wanted to go back, kind of double back on what Helene said about the whole concept of the movie being, like a full circle of this whole situation. But one thing we got to add to that is it's through a woman's perspective and a woman's POV of the whole situation about being left for a white woman. Because look, if you look at Jungle Fever is strictly on Flip's perspective. And yes, while they did have the war council of all the light-skinned black women, and
the other half coming out with
stop. The council of Brits, as I'd like to call them.
Rude.
It was only one scene, but here you actually have all of them kind of centering around the situation that with Bernadine, how it just affected everybody else. You know, what was the old girl name? Robin. Robin was more fired up about the white woman situation than Savannah and Gloria.
She was also the youngest, so she still had that kind of. She still had that fire in her.
That piss and vinegar.
Whereas I think Gloria was so sedentary. She was kind of like, yeah, it fucking sucks, but let's move on with life.
Yeah, she was just like, don't make that phone call. She was like, that's childish. Don't even do that.
Because for what? When you make the phone call, what happens when you do it? You just get to say what you want to say, and the bitch is gonna still, she's still gonna fuck the man that you upset about and you won't.
But she know how I feel though.
No,
I left it on her answer machine.
You told me something, and I'm still gonna fuck him.
Can't like shit.
But you know I'm pissed.
At my house.
She gonna go back to the gawk, and this nigga she gonna put it back on your voice. Now listen. This is 332, bitch.
I call your supervisor.
Okay, now here's a question I would like to ask. Michael.
Yes, sir.
As much not you, Michael, but the character Michael, played by the New Orleans native Wendell Pierce.
Okay.
Wendell. Okay.
He's so cute now, but he was not cute back then.
I'm gonna say Robin's little crew has grown up in the later years.
She glows them up. And that's what I wanted to say. Did Michael seriously get the glow up, or did he get the glow up? Because after she fired him and they meet up in the club, I'm sorry.
He looked different.
He looked different. He looked like he grew an inch or two.
That's why you gotta be careful when you dating your coworkers for real.
That is true. That's facts.
But I say that, but I've done it before.
Me too.
I would still do it. But
she was
you shouldn't do it.
I mean, I've been there.
But what I want to say, what I was trying to say
soundproof office is all I'm gonna say.
As much as Layla Rashawn is beautiful, that woman he stepped in the club with.
Oh, the chick with the short hair.
Oh, she was on point.
She almost looked like. Do y'all remember the model Rashonda?
Yes.
Rashonda?
Yeah.
Back in the day, that's almost who she favored real quick that I looked. I was like, is that? But that's not, it wasn't her.
Damn good. I was just like, ooh, Miss Rashawn, I think you might need to just kind of take this L.
Since we talking about her, was she, I mean, I don't think she was necessarily being, we said what?
You say horrible?
Problem. Let's
come on. Get to Robin.
This woke ass shit. Man, these folks was the problem besides Bernie.
Gloria wasn't a problem.
She was the problem. She was stuck on a man that wasn't hers, and he was gay.
That was Gloria.
She didn't know that.
In denial. She didn't know he was gay.
She was trying to stop her son from growing up.
She was a little bit.
Yep. Her son was her king. She is a problem. Because guess what? Y'all gonna say? You gotta date him. I ain't your mama. Look what she created. The monster.
Her son was an asshole, though. He was.
Well, but he was also spoiled.
He was hurt. He was hurt,
but he was also
he
spoiled.
Was fatherless. Yeah. Then he found out his daddy was gay, so his homophobia had to jump out.
No, I don't. But it wasn't Gloria's fault. He was fatherless.
And is it Gloria's fault he had that white girl sucking his dick?
Yeah.
Okay, number one, that's not a fault.
Yes.
That is stress suppression.
Gentlemen,
you asked the question. Can we let me talk, black woman?
Close your mouth, Michael.
Get closer to the mic, Sean. I can't even hear you.
No, what I'm saying is, she was a problem. She gay dude that slaw coochie, so bro had to go to the other side permanently.
Why?
You will not speak of Loretta Devine's coochie that way.
Yes,
sir.
he was. He was tired. How you go from bisexual? You know what? I'm being bisexual no more. You'll go fully dick. Come on now.
He was always gay.
Yeah.
So
he wasn't bi. He was always gay.
Okay.
Then, like I said, her son was her king. And they was in Phoenix, so it's not like I already said, ain't that many black people there. So he really just chose what was around him. I'm saying. So we got Robin. She was chasing money, so that's why she really dealt with the little fat dude in the first place. She didn't even like him for real.
She did.
She didn't
She
like
did. She did like him.
She did. She saw his body.
He grew to like him.
No, when he sold that dream, I can do that. I can put you there.
I can give you everything else. Yes.
Everything you want. Right. That's what she liked him. And then when she showed up at work, he's like,
she only had interest of him once she saw him with another woman.
She also she settled. She thought about it. She had been going through all these useless men that she was picking, and she decided to settle for someone who's secure. I did that. I settled for someone who was secure, someone who, you know, had good credit.
I don't even think that it was because she didn't even. I don't think she knew initially that he was the secure choice. I think she was just going for the complete opposite of what she was normally with. Like you went from Leon
of Russell
to you went from tall, dark, and fine to
But he was all about her.
All
the other guys.
Then she went back to Russell. He came in like he knew. Yeah, and you missed me, didn't it? I know.
But that's baby. As quick as she said
they
yes,
do be missing you though. They do be missing you though.
When he called and was like, "Can I come over?" She was saying yes before he even finished the statement. Can I come? Can I come? Yes.
But that's where the desperation comes in. It's desperation.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not desperation. It's good dick.
No, not for her. For her, it was about validation.
You can't spell desperation without
not for her.
But I think she legitimately loved whatever Leon's name. Leon.
Russell.
Big Russ.
She loved him. I bet she loved him.
Then kicked him out so she could be a single mama with his kid.
Which I thought that was
a Gloria
thing. There's a line. There's a line that's crossed here because also, even though we're talking about the toxicity of relationships, also was Savannah and Robin. These are not good people too, because this is the thing. For a woman to listen, thing, you guys, black women, you know, you guys are smart, intelligent, everything. You know, you close thing. We got to God. You give life and all that stuff. We love you, right? But only to have that. To make the decision willingly knowing that you are in a relationship and you are continually waiting for a married man to leave his wife while that door has not closed. And then you complain about why you're being string along, why you're not getting what you want, XYZ. Both of them made the bed that they have lied in.
They're not bad people.
You are. I'm sorry.
Savannah is definitely a bad person.
You're making a bad decision. The fact that you want to be in a relationship with a married man.
Right. Therapy. Here's the problem. When you don't value yourself, you look for others to validate who you are as a human being. When you can't even value the core of you, you look outside of yourself to what you think is the best of whatever, and you think you're going too deep on Savannah, ma'am. Savannah wanted that man because she wanted that man, and she knew he was married.
Yeah.
So then by that logic,
wanted that man.
Here we go. Every situation, no, nigga, it's not even that deep. She just wanted that nigga.
Savannah just wanted. Now,
right.
Robin.
Since high school.
No, not Robin. Was Robin? Which one is
Anthony, you to say something?
Yeah, I just want to say
that's Robin.
Can I quote a poet right quick for this whole situation?
MF Doom.
Yes.
Shut up, Brea. It is not MF Doom. But I want to read this because I think this fits everything that y'all are arguing about. And the poet read that everyone falls in love sometime. Sometimes it's wrong. And sometimes it's right.
Right.
For every win, someone must fall. But there's a point when we exhale. Yeah.
I can't stand your ass. No, the only one that had a little, like Robin had been previously abused.
They caused it.
Yeah.
Now, I will say I agree with Sean on that. I do agree. They
what?
knew. No. Understand.
Besides Bernie,
understand,
for the most part, yeah.
Savannah was the most honest. That I give her props for.
Yes.
Because Savannah said straight up, there are moments I don't need love. I just need to get it in.
Yes.
Like with old boy that they was doing the the voicemail dating.
The nigga from
Soul Food.
From Soul Food.
And
Kenny.
Kenny, his trifling ass, who left Terry to get with, we all know the Soul Food debacle. But
I mean, he made the right
decision. And was that old girl from the Housewives? The chick he was with, was that old girl from? Yeah, was that Kenya?
Yes, that was hair.
Yeah.
I want to address what Anthony just said. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I think once again I know. So
I gave poetry.
But you did.
Go ahead, Britt,
we also forget what years these women came up in, considering the fact that women were consistently told to not speak over a man. Men made the decisions. They're the head of the household. And then the other breath, they were also told, if you want to have a voice, you have to do it in his ear. You have to manipulate him. The easiest way to a man's heart is X, Y, and Z.
Fucking somebody else, man.
Thank you.
Wait, let me finish.
Hold on.
Wait, let me finish.
Go ahead, Britt.
Thank you. So you treat these young women are raised by their mothers, typically telling them this. The women in their lives are telling them this, because you have to remember, it wasn't until the late 70s women were even allowed to have a checking account without their husband signing off. You have to remember, it wasn't, oh, you know what? But anyway, so what I'm saying is, when you are raised with that level of manipulation in your mind, it's always a contest. Getting a man away from a married woman is the ultimate for a woman who believes in manipulation.
Well,
I'm not saying
respect that white woman for
Sean, hold on. I'm gonna go to you next. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish, Britt.
Oh, I was just simply gonna say that it's not about good, bad, or otherwise, because there's nobody in the world who is good 100% and bad 100%. We are a mix of good and bad. No one is perfect. The only perfect individual is Jesus, right?
Okay.
So it's about getting the help you need. And more than likely, like Helene said, she probably had some childhood trauma. More than likely, most women deal with a lot of sexual, assault when they're young. So you also have to think about that mindset.
Britt,
but anyway.
You're going too deep.
I love all this great. I love all this grace and understanding you give it to
Michael, hold up. Michael, I'm gonna let Sean go because Sean ready. Sean.
I pass the violin to you, Nick.
Right.
Here.
Sean, what you got?
Violin.
Oh, you know what, Sean? Before you go into your tirade and really destroy Britt, I just want to say,
not destroy. Educate.
No, I love Britt. Y'all don't understand.
Yeah,
I just want y'all to know that sometimes you'll laugh. Sometimes you'll cry.
Somebody mute him.
Life never tells us.
Mute him.
The reasons why.
Get your ass out of here.
Shoot it, dude.
What do you have in response, Sean?
I'm just trying to figure out what all they got to do with them fucking somebody else, man. And also, if that's the game, it's the game. They should have understood why that white woman got their man, her friend man. Then, if that was the case.
Well, Bernadine slept with Herbert. Bernadine slept with a married man.
She turned into.
She turned into John.
She turned into somebody, you know what I'm saying, that she didn't like. They fucked up her life. That's why I said that's what she turned wrong. So I said I didn't call them bad people. I just said all their problems was their fault.
Not every problem is your fault, but a lot of times you are the driver in that car and you can veer off if you want to, whether the gun's held to your head or not. So they created the situations. They were a party to the situations they were in, and they didn't walk away when they needed to.
Mm-hmm. So it's their fault.
What you got, Michael?
Okay, now, I don't also even. I feel I need to take back my words when I say bad people. I think that these people just made a lot of bad decisions. But one thing, and also want to be very clear that I'm a person where I'm like am more of the middle ground of I'm the person where my friends contact me. And now also me and my wife, like we're people that help, people in relationships and stuff like that is what we do. One thing I see when you're saying that everything that you said was absolutely right about about how we're women, you know, their backgrounds and everything and stuff to get to the point where the situations that they're currently in is a byproduct of their environment and what they're in their upbringing. Now, I think it's very funny that you said all of that, but yet the big thing we start off with with this film is niggas ain't shit. These men are
Motion
this
picture.
and that. And then yet you didn't say anything about what about these men upbringing? What about, what about Allstate dude? What was his upbringing? You know, maybe his mom didn't love him, so he just
Because you know
didn't respect
what?
women,
I'm
you
not a
know.
man. I'm not a man. I'm a
Which
woman.
is
So I
why
can
I
see
love this
things.
conversation. I love that you get me to smoke. I am great because that means we can actually cook something, you know. So great, I love it. So dang, I'm not even saying this pushback is actually anything wrong. It's just actually good because this is with these films that bring discussions like this, but also my intentions of retorting in this way is because there's a thing that women see and a thing that men see. And then the thing is that the problem is not the fact that we're not speaking or voicing these opinions because we have these podcasts. Here we are in these generations where everybody got a podcast and they can say and push their agenda, their voice, whatever. But the problem is that we're not listening to each other and we're not meeting in the middle ground, right? Because yes, we as men hear this for now generation. I'm 26. I've heard this consistently through films and stuff. And but also I didn't see the side of men now being a man myself that hey, that they're also going upbringing saying, hey, there's a part that women are missing here. And the part today that we have here that people are making terrible decisions, but yet we're putting the blame of accountability on other people. And now instead of watching the choices that we're made, like why am I choosing to be with this married man, acting like he's the only man in America that I can actually be in a relationship with? That's not that, and even in Arizona, you could be with somebody else that's not married, but
Because of
that's a
white
choice,
people.
and it's a choice.
Oh
But it's
Lord.
also
But
saying that.
What is like?
because
Because
of
this-
white people, and I can.
Oh, you muted. Oh, someone
Oh,
muted.
he beat somebody.
Yeah, I had to
muted.
use a button.
That was a
What the
Lord. That
fuck
was
is
a
she
Lord.
talking about? White people. Fuck them. Back to you, Michael.
She was gonna factor in a way to bring up either the
To put
slave
white
trade
supremacy.
Right.
or
So
white
see,
supremacy.
White supremacy.
It was all gonna come back to that as to what the issue was. I promise.
Not
right,
just
but
that
yes.
men and women ain't shit.
Well, which we can also say that the reason why we're against black men and black women is because of the system of white supremacy, the root foundation.
There you go. That's
And
what she's
it's
gonna say.
systematically perpetuated by agendas and systems.
Back to
And then
saying
because
women win shit in this movie. Let's stick
right.
to the movie, man.
Anyway, what
But
I'm trying to
Michael,
say,
I have a question.
go ahead. So go ahead.
Losing the plot.
What is the like you say you have systematically heard over the course of your lifetime that the narrative of so and so ain't shit in movies and in podcasts, but have you in real life, like touching grass, just experience a mass of oh niggas ain't shit, women ain't shit, black bitches ain't shit? Have you seen, because I haven't personally seen that in mass. I've seen it on TV. I've heard people on podcasts that want to have that one-off talk about it, but in real life, I've not walked up on any woman that legitimately, not like, oh, I'm pissed at him at this moment,
I'm glad
but
you brought that up.
legitimately was like, oh, all men ain't shit. Da, da, da. I've not ran up on that
Yes.
woman. Now, I may not know her, and she may be out here, but I don't know her. And I don't see that any of the women in this film were just like, as a whole, black men ain't shit. But I do see that the men were very telling about how they felt about the black women in the movie.
Yeah. And the reason why,
Well, they
and I'm
did
so
tell the
glad you
truth during the birthday party.
well, yes, but
when they
the
were
one
drunk.
thing,
Yeah.
going back to your question is like, because I believe there is now I don't know everybody's age here, but I think there's a 20-year difference here, where
Britt's old and the rest of us are not.
right. So I'm in the
Damn.
millennial. So I'm in like the millennial Gen Z era. I can tell you that you're half right. That's saying that yes, that there is a commonality where we're seeing this in terms of film and music and television, but yet we're not actually seeing the gravity of it. But yet, because film and television, for me, I was saying, it's not just film, not just entertainment, it's propaganda. And as a continuing thing that you watch over and over again becomes culture, and culture dictates behavior. So when you have a continuing system now where all this film and television that it's perpetuating of Black women being aggressive, Black men being this certain type of way, stereotypes, again, going to her system, which is planned, is that it then leads to a point now, here we are thinking that, oh, this is a big major problem. And then we're talking about having these issues like, man, why are you single? Because niggas ain't shit. Man, why are you single? Because these hoes, man, they be tripping. Okay, who are you actually interacting with? And here, and when you win the war of the mind, you control everything. And so it's more of a psychological thing that where I think people are thinking that I'm supposed to be viewing Black women as the enemy, or I'm supposed to be viewing Black men as the enemy. But then taking a step back, like, no, this is being perpetuated and told to me by music, television, film, because it brings profit. It brings, revenue. So to answer. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Michael.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I say niggas ain't shit because I done came across a lot of niggas that ain't shit. But not like all niggas ain't shit, but it's just like,
yeah,
back to back.
So it's been based on some people's personal experiences, but then here's also a thing too.
Wait a minute. The
way that hand crept up, I want to hear that.
Oh, Ray, you go ahead. Ray, the floor is yours.
Oh no, I was just saying I need to hop off. I have to go to bed. My medicine has kicked in.
Okay, Grandma.
Okay. Thank you for joining us.
I love y'all.
We love you. We love you too, Rhea.
Bye.
Good night, girl. Night. She gonna cry.
Yes. I just wanted to, hold on. Shit. Fuck. No, I just wanted to counter the whole concept of like, if we sit here and downgrade in Black films, Black men consistently, it starts to enter the collective public psyche. But you also have to remember, yes, but with that said, stack on top of that typical media that you're already watching, and the negative way, especially at that time, Black men were portrayed. So it wasn't even just within the Black community that the Black man was portrayed as ain't shit. It was in the white communities. It was in, media is all white. Everything was all white. Everything we got was all white, and any Black anything had to be agreed upon by a white
man, by the man.
Right. The man. So what
Undercover Brother taught me well.
Such a great movie.
Y'all check out our review. She made it all the way back to white people again.
Right. I was wondering where we were going or how we got here.
See, I'm the conspiracy brother. The man. The man's on.
But also, you got to look at it like this.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Think about it this way: the person who says yes to the film also can come in and say, the studio can come in and go, I don't like the way any of this is going. You're going to change it all around if you want to make this film. That's what they can do because they're funding the film, because they're allowing it to be under their studio head. A lot of times there's a lot of, not misinformation, but there's a lot of tropes that studios love to perpetuate because they believe that they bring in money. And one of them is Black men ain't shit.
But you have to understand that trope is a very large umbrella. And in this movie, we're not looking at shitty Black men from a perspective of whether it be money or wealth, or they're shitty human beings, but that could be a white man, that could be a shitty human being. These were well-to-do men for the most part. Like, these are successful men, these are business-oriented men, these men have jobs. Now, one was a cokehead, but I mean, like, these were not the tropes.
Wasn't a seller.
Right.
No, but
these are not those they're not gang members. They didn't have a bunch of baby mamas and kids and shit like that. So for all intents and purposes, these Black men, outside of their personal beliefs, it wasn't necessarily that they weren't shit. They just weren't shit to that particular woman.
So during that time, there was a resurgence. Like, my father was doing incredibly well. A lot of other the Black families I knew in my life were doing incredibly well monetarily, whatever it may be. Cosby,
the Clinton years.
Right.
Yes.
How do you destroy that mindset? You destroy it by taking the people in these situations and going, look, they still ain't shit. They're still bad people. I'm sorry. I just believe anything that white media, especially then, approved of was to still show Black men and Black women in negative lights. For God's sakes, they approved Soul Man not that long before that.
Well, no, Soul Man was 1987, but
right, but that's not that.
It's not that far. That's not that far away. But also, you got to think of it like this: if you looking at when was it from Waiting to Exhale, which we joke niggas ain't shit, the motion picture. You know what was the other movie that actually pissed off more Black women against Black men and Black men? Say it. The Color there Purple. It is. 1986. Yeah, 86 it dropped. Between 84 and 86.
Yeah.
That was that movie. That was the only movie.
Color Purple.
We all love it. We all quote it. It was traumatic as hell. But when you get to Waiting to Exhale, like I said, 95, we're in the Afrocentric run. We are we pro-Black. We rocking medallions. We hitting kufis. We're listening to Tribe Called Quest and X-Clan and all this shit. And yeah, there were moments where we had to go back and look into ourselves. And when this movie drops, those who didn't read the book, you know what they went to see? A Girlfriends movie. They literally went to see Girlfriends Living. If you read the book, like Helene said, there's a lot of changes from what the book has in the translation to film. Once they came out the theater, and again, I tell y'all, I was in there with a theater full of Black women. I swear to y'all, it was a dark day for me, literally and figuratively. These women came out changed. They walked out like an army.
They was about to burn some shit up.
They was ready to burn. I mean, they all came out like Bernadine right after the cheating. Bro. Give me some matches, give me his car, and burn, baby, burn. And it turned into are Black men really that? You know, like people were literally writing think pieces on this movie.
Yes,
and it was
it's
right.
It's psychological. And that's what I'm saying. What I love about why I got into like being a film critic was that I feel as much as I love relationships or like, you know, talking about how we interact as a people and stuff, I also believe a lot of that translate through film and TV and entertainment. And especially for us as Black people more than ever, whether you want to say positive or negative, we are so tied to our entertainment, like really like no other community. And that's why, and what even I think is fascinating, I think there's also opportunity when you see it, these pieces of art through a specific lens and able to dissect that and understand, okay, what's the propaganda here? What's the truth behind it? What's the, this is just the Hollywood aspect of it. And then, this was actually a concept that was very interesting. They brought up, hey, how does this can be applied to terms of our image as people, right? Yeah. Because again, this is also another narrative. I talk about women because in this film too, there's another thing that was missing. Where was the fathers in this film? And I'm not talking about the husbands. I'm talking about these women. Where were their fathers at saying, wait, you saw Big Mama calling, oh, he's a good man. Where was her father? Most likely dead or wasn't even there.
No, she talked. Well,
she was alone.
That's another thing. In the book, she literally was the same way Savannah was. She was chasing after a married man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, like, in terms of like being healthy, is that having a positive relationship between a father figure and a mother figure, calling that BS out, like that dude's playing you, while the woman's like, yeah, he's a good guy and all that stuff. You should just suck it up and everything. There was an absence of that of grandfather. I'm saying, and not the husbands, you know, who have kids, because they don't give a fuck about them, and literally, and any of them in this damn movie. I'm saying, talking about older in the terms of, I guess, the Gen X, or was it what generation was the baby boomers?
The boomers.
Yes.
Yeah, the boomers, which I think Gloria and Bernadine and even Savannah, she was 33, let's say in 95.
She would have been a boomer.
So yeah, she would be at the end of the boom. So those were baby boomers other than Robin, because there's no way in hell you could say Layla Rashawn was 39, 40 years
right,
old.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. But there was a fine line where the culture shifted, where now men were being their presence was kind of declining in terms of families and relationships. And then with that, that created an absence where women were doing more, struggling more while providing for the children and also in relationships thinking that their image as a woman, period. So that influences, I'm saying, this film. And I'm saying the absence of that is having the positive influence of a man calling this bullshit out and understanding a man, which I appreciate Marvin for saying, wait, why are you letting your son just stay here? Like, no, let him go. Let him, experience his stuff out. Even though Gloria was mad at him, which is okay. I can tell the truth to my wife. She can get pissed at me, at the moment, and then thank me later. But that's called having a positive relationship where, like, listen, I know you might be mad at me, but I'm telling the truth here, and I'm being a healthy spouse with you. That's what's missing. Is that
Marvin was the only voice of reason in that whole movie.
This movie niggas wasn't shit. That's why you didn't see no positive niggas outside of Marvin.
But you didn't see any positive women out of any of them.
But I will say,
celebrating.
Well, I mean,
like they wasn't the problem.
So I do appreciate within their friendship they were able to hold each other accountable.
Yes,
they were.
Yeah.
I appreciate that so much because Birdie
Gloria
was
held Bernie accountable.
Exactly. She was just like, you know, you wrong. Like you said, you needed that, but you wrong because he's a married man.
But they was fucking.
No, Sean. I'm basic. Put your headset back on. Get your mood together. But I'm just saying, like, she was just like, girl, you know you're wrong. You should not be dealing with a married man.
Hot meat killers. Jesus Christ.
They had sex one time.
Well, in that
she was still wrong.
Again,
I'm not saying she wasn't wrong. I am not saying she wasn't wrong, but her feelings were so hurt, she tried to get the get back. And in the process, what I think they touched on it for a hot second, but they didn't go into it. She was like, you were the wife.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, you were the wife. And now you are dealing with somebody that is married. Like, you're not looking at it from the wife's point of view, and you used to be the wife.
Said there, she became who she became the problem.
She became the
monster that she was. That married man is just as bad, if not worse, because he stepped out.
Of course.
Stepped out on his bond.
It's not a struggle Olympics, man.
Me as a single person, I don't owe your wife shit.
Fucking women being ain't shit.
Now, what I will say is that Herbert dropped the ball because he was looking for that pussy in the daylight with a flashlight.
Why are you stopping by my house?
My house.
Because it was good. Because he was good. What you mean?
We don't do that.
I'm not supposed to tell you.
At that age,
you good.
At that age, that pussy was untapped. That was some good prime pussy. It was untapped.
You can't be stopping by the house unannounced.
In 11 years of marriage, you only did it 700 times. Yes, that pussy would probably take.
And she had not been with anybody else, and she got with that man relatively young. So it's probably a good chance that she didn't have but a few.
Do you think
partners in general?
Do y'all think John Jr. told John Sr.? Because Herbert was a famous NFL player. Do you think
the son was on mom's side. Now that daughter,
no. Well, what I'm saying is, do you think they kind of mentioned it to Dad? Dad, you wouldn't believe who came.
No,
Herbert
son
from the Cardinals.
I think son was smart enough to pick up. Son wouldn't have said nothing, but the daughter would have been like, so Junior opened the door for this man, and it wouldn't have been that, he was from the Cardinals. It'd have just been like, there was a man at the house.
He was tall, Daddy. Yeah. He was bald. He nice. Yeah. He looked real nice.
Ice cream.
Yeah.
Herbert bought him ice cream. That's how he got to the dope. He cooked that child with
But that is wild, coming to somebody's house, get married and walking up on somebody's house in the daytime.
What I love is when Bernadine caught that. He showed up to my house unannounced. I'm like, well,
ain't no bigger players than Mayor, man.
Again, y'all said the black representation in Phoenix is not a lot. So shit, he trying to maintain that flag, and all he can.
But that's just it. You know the representation of it, because I lived in New Mexico for 4 years. I would get excited when I would see another black person. like my mom, we would run to them as if we knew them for all of our lives. So you know that the population is nil damn near in Phoenix. So you know good and goddamn well people are paying attention where your big black ass is going, and
But
you
he
riding
rich.
around town trying to go see this lady, and you married.
He rich and he know his woman ain't going nowhere.
You
Right.
telling off on
Good
yourself.
training.
Did
Good
y'all
training.
also catch the microaggression in the movie? There was only one microaggression.
There was more than one, but continue.
No, but I mean, probably I never noticed. But I'm talking about, ma'am, this is a nice neighborhood.
Oh, baby.
I bust out laughing. I
You're
just
lucky
went,
enough your neighbors cared enough.
yeah.
Bitch, fuck up. Fuck out of here.
See, I didn't see no other microaggression except for the fireman. But again, I am not one who looks for those things. So, but it just tripped me out when it just showed its ugly head right then and there. You know.
But I sure like that she closed the door on his ass because he looked like he was
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
write her a ticket. She just slammed the door.
Leave it at the door. I'll get it later.
Okay.
Do me for littering.
You can't
But
burn
yeah.
anything but trash, ma'am. That is
Oh.
trash.
poor head.
And we
Oh,
I think
shit.
we forgot. We didn't talk about the Japanese black man, the narrator of the whole movie. The DJ. Theo.
Leo.
DJ
Theo.
Yeah, DJ
From
Theo.
MTV.
They had a lot of black women,
That was a
real
good
hot
looking
and randy
look.
in them
That was
theaters.
the first Asian dude I ever was like, oh.
Say like my mama, I didn't know his eyes was like that. I'm like, yes, he's Asian, mom. He's an Asian man. I thought he was black. I'm like, no,
Everybody
he is not.
thought he was black.
Yeah, because he
Until
had
we
that
saw him on
quiet storm
MTV.
voice. And it was like, wait a minute, soy sauce be damn. But it is
Not
what it
the
is.
soy sauce.
Nah,
Yeah, man.
because Savannah threw that water or whatever it was to do face like she had the upper hand of being.
She
to
realized
Kenneth?
her importance in that moment.
Yes.
That
That's
she
what
was
happened.
no longer a side chick.
That's
Right.
what happened.
Man,
And
she
she was just like,
side piece to somebody else, right? Cut it out.
she was just like, I'm done. Well, she's done being a side piece to him.
Yeah.
She won that battle that day.
Yeah, to him.
Yeah,
him.
that ain't the first time she did that to him. He know when to come back.
And I
$20
hope
bet she hooks up with her, but
He gonna send Miss Gladys. He gonna send Miss
Herbert.
Gladys a meatloaf.
I don't know.
No.
Ain't much black men in Arizona.
He
No.
gonna send Mama a meatloaf, and Mama gonna call her, say, "Man, I seen Kenneth."
I'm sorry.
Kenneth don't even live there, so she should be able to be done with him. He doesn't even live in
Yeah.
Arizona. He was flying in for a conference.
You know he was dicking her down, right? He came in when he wanted to.
And mama was broke. She had $6-7 in food stamps. The fuck?
Yeah, that tripped me out, man.
Kenneth come pay a couple of months of man, please. Mama love him.
I still laugh when she called and said, Savannah, Kenneth just called me crying.
Exactly.
You know a man is in love when he's calling crying about a woman. I'm like, ma'am.
Exactly.
Ma'am.
Fellas, is that true?
No.
I ain't never called no
This
woman's mama
also
for
was the
nothing.
failure of Big Mama, which is like where the generation where the mothers, the grandmothers were the place of wisdom. Now it's like
That
where
was wisdom to them.
no, because her mother is telling, hey, go to that married man.
There was wisdom to them.
The mother was so, oh my God, I wanted
I'm saying
hit her old ass.
Showed that generation, there's a shift where it's like, okay, even the people that your mother, your elders are still on the bullshit, right? And that's again, and before in our history where our elders were revered, respected, into a point where they were always guidance and keeping us our moral compass, through our families and everything. Now that generation has literally died off at this point, where now it's like our culture now where it's like nobody knows what the hell they're doing. Your grandmother don't know, your mom don't know, whatever, and then you're gonna do what you gotta do, and then your man gotta do what you gotta do, and here you are, and you just gotta live with your choices.
But you have to remember that generation of women, like Britt talked about, they weren't able to do without a man. So her mother was telling her what was of her generation. You didn't have a bank account. You didn't own a home. You couldn't do any of these things without a man to take care of you. So she was accustomed to telling her, well, you say you don't need a man, but I know better. I know that you need a man because she was of a generation where you legitimately did need a man.
No, you're absolutely right. But also that was the creation of the woman, of the modern woman, not just black woman. Of I think in the 80s, well, Eddie Murphy even said, I think in the, what was it, Delirious, like all you women in the 80s, you just getting all these careers and all this stuff like that. You can making money and stuff. Yeah, because that was a renaissance of women getting careers and making money, which to a point where, hey, I don't actually need to be married to actually take care of myself. So, but older generation still wasn't getting that. So it took a learning curve for them to be like, oh, yeah.
Sean, what you sound like you had something to say. What you got?
No, I was just saying. That's what I was saying. What he was saying, she didn't have wisdom, but like that was wise for her to tell her daughter to deal with a man that was treating her good outside of not being available. Like that was wisdom. Just like the shit that we was taught is outdated now. So it's either, but we are young enough. Some of us are young enough in the hoop to update our, ideologies, but a lot of our peers don't. Plenty of people that's our age that still think like how we was taught, and they'll be showing up for like. So like, I don't really like folks be calling her mama like, oh, he's crazy. But I was like, bro, she come from a time where there was what going on. Like that was the thing. Like if a man treated you well, this, that, and third, because niggas been cheating since forever. That ain't nothing new. And so
they overlook the cheating.
Yeah, as long as you are taking care of what you need to take care of, they overlook that shit. That whole leaving a nigga because they were cheating shit new.
So if she cheat, how are you leaving?
Who, me? Where she cheated? In my house that I'm paying bills at? She gotta go.
Outside the house then.
All right, that's cool then. Cool, yeah. Just don't
have it's not in your sheets.
Don't that nigga don't call my phone. Don't that nigga don't call my phone or be on some bullshit. Yeah.
Hey, Sean is pulling a Russell. What did Russell tell Robin?
Tell
your boyfriends don't be calling here after 11 o'clock.
Yeah, like no, man, keep
I get that though. This is my time. Let me have my time. Yeah. You can have your time with them when it's their time.
What's Tamar's sister? Tamar's sister that just she cheated on her husband because she sucked some dick. Don't do that though. You burn the head. Don't you get your head burned. Have some respect for me.
So wait. wait. Hold on. I got a question. So
don't you go suck some dick? And then
is that off limits? That's
no mouth.
That's where you draw the line?
No, if you suck some dick and that's it, like that's all you got from it, I can't look, man. Come on.
So she should have got more.
Yes.
Yeah, fuck 'em.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
So it's levels to it.
Yes.
It's levels to it. Okay, so she just like
I can't hear you can't be a dumb. You can't be a dumb chick.
Hold on, one at a time.
I mean, I'll make something make sense. Your man is out here cheating, but he ain't fucking him. He's just eating them out and give him some money.
Why is he giving them money?
Why I would be more upset about him giving them money.
Either way,
giving them money.
Either way, for me, it's gonna be the same result. I don't put levels on it. It's
levels. No, the cheating.
You know what?
Jazz, don't you pay to go to buffets?
That's like
Jazz,
I'm 36.
I would say around the 34 range, I was the same way. At 43, why are you giving them money? I don't give a shit about the other shit.
Because
I have transitioned into that other part to where I don't give a shit about that.
Most people ain't built to be faithful for the rest of their fucking life. They discipline ain't there.
So then don't get married. Don't get in a long-term relationship. Don't be monogamous. Especially now where you really don't have to. Where you really don't.
Yeah.
Just say that shit up front.
That's cool.
Girl, who is DJ Quick sitting to?
Hold up.
That is the
Theo?
DJ from Waiting to Exhale.
That's Theo. I was about to say, yeah, okay.
That's Theo.
I ain't gonna lie, the other person look like ASAP Rocky.
But like I said,
that's DJ Quick, girl.
Man, come on,
no, the other person that's right there. So that like ASAP. You don't see it.
No,
yeah, we see it.
ASAP look like him if anything, though.
Yeah, we're just shocked that you had the balls to say it, though, Jazz. That's all. We're a little shocked.
Sean,
a little shocked and appalled.
Sean,
but you don't have to be with somebody if you don't want to be committed. You actually don't have to be committed to anybody.
But I don't think everybody starts out with I'm gonna go cheat. there is a subsect of people, and I'm not even gonna say men or women, just a subsect of people that are probably just like, I'm gonna get what I get, and that's it. I'm in it to win it. But I don't think the majority of people literally enter into a relationship thinking, you know what, I'm gonna cheat on this bitch soon.
Facts. Because who thinks about that? I just seen
First off,
to,
Twitter doesn't agree with you. Twitter says people get in relationships like, I gotta make sure I cheat first.
Say Twitter does not agree with you.
I ain't never lost.
Okay, so let's say you get into that relationship.
Jason is a battery.
I never lost.
Jason said, boom. I could say I ain't never lost that game.
He is a villain. He is a villain.
But no, think about it. You get into a long-term relationship. You get into a monogamous relationship, and at some point, you guys veer off somewhere, whether it's you and they think everything's fine, whatever it may be. And you see somebody who catches your eye, happens. The minute you step over whatever line you two have created in your relationship is the boundary, because that's where the cheating is. The cheating isn't just what you think cheating is, it's what two people in that relationship think cheating is. They've agreed upon it. The minute you overstep that boundary, the only thing you should be doing is turning around and saying, I don't want to be with this person.
How long do you think it took Bernadette's husband to start cheating on her?
I think
a minute.
After year one. Soon as he signed them papers, he was like, all right, so this is white bitch I want.
When he started counting six.
But nah, she was younger.
But that's what we're told when we're supposed to get married is when we're young. That's the time that we're fertile, we're supposed to be fit, and that's when you're supposed to get married, is when you're young.
And my grandparents said don't get married. It was like my grandmother said she hated she got married.
Well, a lot of our grandmothers say that.
Oh, okay. This is not her. Okay. This is okay.
I thought
it was unique. I thought.
Right.
All right, I have a question. So, like, I've only been married for a year. So, what y'all telling me?
Oh shit!
Like, and I'm 26. My wife.
Look, your marriage.
I only made it a year, brother. So don't.
Your marriage is what you make of it. I got married in 2004, and I'm officially still married. But my ex-husband and I have not been together for years. But I wouldn't tell somebody not to get married. We were young when we got married, yes, but for what it was worth, for us not seeing healthy marriages until we were older, because like both of our parents were in their second marriages when we beginnings of their second marriages when they got married. Now they're both still like my dad and my stepmother are still married, and my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, their second marriages are both still married as well. But those first marriages just did not work out. So we didn't see healthy marriages from the jump. We see them now. And it took years to get there. But if you had the idea of a healthy marriage and you probably go to counseling to find out what a healthy marriage is for you, you'll probably be fine.
Right. Okay. Exactly.
No, it is all about
you have to remember your generation is far more tuned into
most definitely
what they need to do themselves in order to be a healthy participant in a relationship. That is something that Gen X and boomers and whatnot, that wasn't even a concept. It was do what the man says. And if he doesn't whoop your ass, you're lucky. And if he doesn't move his bitches in your house, you're lucky. That's we grew up with. I have more faith in 26-year-olds of your generation than I do a 26-year-old Gen Xer.
I still can't get my ex-husband to go to counseling. But luckily, my 20-year-old son is like, yeah, sign me up. I'll talk to somebody.
See?
That's what I'm talking about.
And at 20, he is self-aware enough to say, I want to talk to somebody. I want to get some things off my chest. I still can't get my 44-year-old ex-husband to go to a counselor because he doesn't think anything is the problem.
That right there. I had to leave my ex-husband, leave him for him to say he would go to couples therapy. Like I asked him so often before that, and he literally said, I'd rather get a divorce than go to counseling.
Ball it up, King. Emotionally dump on the next woman. You gotta
so I'm not gonna lie.
You gotta pay for that.
I'm his second wife. He's already with the girl he was cheating on me with. I mean, like,
I'm sorry, King.
At least he did that, because most of us, I just move on to a new woman anyway. It's just,
well, my dad married the woman he cheated on my mom with, and they've been together since '89.
That's what I'm talking about. You cheat. You cheat up.
10-year age different and been together since 89.
No, mine cheated down.
Oh no, my dad was very smart. He always went for college educated women. My mom was a college educated. My stepmom is highly educated. My dad wasn't playing them games. He's like, shit, I'm gonna get a motherfucker that's gonna level me up, and he did both times.
Smart man.
Helene seen my ex-husband's new boo. Did he trade up or trade down?
My lord.
No, she's not cute. Well, her ex-husband's not cute either. He's like a Vietnamese Mucinex man.
It's about how she make him feel. Y'all can't determine if he went up or down. It's about him. If he went down,
oh no, there's a scale for up or down. Like ugly when you see it. I don't give a shit what the sliding scale is. Ugly is ugly.
Ugly is subjective.
It's not. It's not.
It is.
No.
It's not.
No.
So Jason, like if you met a chick that had a really good personality and shit, but she looked like the bitch from
No chance.
The substance,
if she was built, if she was literally built like the Mucinex
hold on. If she looked like the substance, level 3.
Jazz,
and she got a good personality,
Jazz,
she a good sucker,
I got
and all
level
that.
Jazz,
level 3. So
Jazz, bro, come on.
You're gonna be
come
like,
on,
I'm keeping her.
We're not even. I'm not gonna even talk to her.
No,
she got a good personality.
Jason never said love is love. You had that background on your thing. I never said that. I don't transcribe to that bullshit.
Don't dignify that question.
No.
Personality matters, but
I still have to get a bonus. I still gotta wake up to that too. Yeah. Like no,
right.
But what I'm saying is, if he's finding her attractive, it don't fucking matter how you view her. That's what I'm saying. I can think the last nigga is whack or the next nigga is whack. It doesn't matter how I view him. I ain't the one fucking him.
Oh, and I absolutely agree. Because
and 9 times out of 10, he whack if he was. I don't care.
That's fine because he's now having regular. Like he's physically attracted to her. He was sleeping with her when he was with me. So obviously, technically in his mind, she was the come up. She was the better choice. And that's fine. Good for them because he needed to get some because he hadn't gotten it in years. So
thank God I play video games and mind my fucking business. Y'all niggas is crazy.
Did you hear her say years?
Yes.
Why was you holding out like that?
I heard years, plural.
Years.
Why you holding out like that?
Because
when it turns 2 days,
if you treat me like a maid,
Michael, what you got?
Oh yeah, no, I gotta go. My wife just brought me some food, and she's telling me.
Oh yeah,
amen to that, black woman.
That is so sweet.
Yeah, yep.
Thank you so much for joining us and chatting with us.
I had a lot of fun. I hope this is the last. No, please.
Great to meet you, Michael. Definitely gonna follow your stuff.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, I need to take down his little.
I know, right?
Jedi Mike 7.
At Jedi Mike 7 on YouTube and on Instagram. But yeah, all my interviews, I have stuff dropping, next week and stuff like that. But
awesome.
Yeah, please. And also I gotta get you guys locked in though, because like now content you guys are doing is like I'm part press, so it's like anyway, we'll talk behind the scenes.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. All right, y'all. I'll mess you up.
Have a good night.
Have a good one, Mike.
Night.
The funny thing is, this episode drops in the end of the month.
That's fine.
So we're in the future.
In the future. And we gonna be shoot.
2 have fallen and 6 remain. Rhea tapped out early on what appears to be a melatonin gummy, and Michael's wife finally put on the bonnet. Sean is held back, but he is fully tapped into his toxicity. A little Penny and the friendly neighborhood super Negro are there to back him up as Jazz and the ladies of Talkin Ish stand 10 toes down. Next episode drops Thursday, November 28th. But in all seriousness, please have a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy, get full, and please be safe. And we'll see you next time. And don't forget, was it good though? Especially turkey.